Welcome to Two Giant Goofballs, a New York Giants podcast. Are you a goofball that loves Giants football? If so, sit back and relax as we talk about the team that both excites and frustrates us so much. And now, here are your goofball hosts, Drew and Rob.
Welcome, fellow goofballs, to Two Giant Goofballs, a New York Giants podcast. I am Drew. Listen, guys, we got the beginning of the season here starting today. So the very first game ever for the 2025 New York Football Giants here. Right now, awaiting the start of the game as we have the warm-ups now going on the field at Buffalo. We got Jaxson Dart warming up on the field right now. Well, that's very exciting. I think that's definitely obviously one of the big things this game is the very first time we get a chance to see Jaxson Dart on the field. Now, I don't expect him necessarily to go against the top talent, obviously, but this is something that's going to be a fun thing to watch. That's for sure. We have also, of course, the start of Abdul Carter again, also in his very first action with the New York Giants here. As Jay says, where is the vacuum sales guys? Well, listen, Rob's got stuff going on, but we got you. We got you. But like I said, we always try to keep you guys with the up-to-date stuff there, keep you with the play-by-play as well here. So we got that rolling here for you guys today. So let us know in the comments, who are you most excited to see, though, today? I think most people are going to say that it's going to be Jaxson Dart or Abdul Carter probably. But keep in mind, you also got Russell Wilson, they're saying, is going to get some action here today. Now, I don't imagine he's going to get much, obviously. I think probably like the first drive or so, and that's probably it. But, we will have some, as Shuey says, Carter. Yeah, I mean, you're going to see a lot more Carter than you are of Jaxson Dart, I think. That's for sure. So I do think he's going to be a fun one to see. So Jay says, Dart, who cares about anyone else? I do. I think Dart is, listen, Dart's the biggest thing this whole year. Let's be very frank on that. How he does is going to determine whether this is a successful season or not. It's all about setting up for the future of the season. But when it boils down to it, I still want to see how Russell Wilson does. I still want to see how Abdul Carter does. I still want to see how, if they play into the starting secondary, I want to see how Paulson Debo looks. I want to see Javon Holland potentially covering tight ends. That's a very exciting thing. We actually have somebody who might be able to cover a tight end for once. How long has it been since we've had that, But there's definitely some new players on this team that I'm excited to see. Now, also, Malik Neighbors is not going to be playing in this game, along with Andrew Thomas, of course, everybody expected would not be in. But I am very curious to see overall how this offense looks without Malik Neighbors and Andrew Thomas. Both guys have been facing injuries here, but we're not going to get a big sample of it, obviously. I think you'll probably see the starters for like one series, and that's it. We'll see what happens. I like that we're seeing the starters, though. I got to say that. I like that we're seeing the starters. I feel like we played it too easy going in the preseason, in the training camps. It goes back to the very first training camp under Dable, where the Lions literally whooped our butts basically the entire time. This is going to be a season that you're seeing a change in how we're setting up for it. In other words, we're not just being, running through the motions basically all training camp. There's been a lot more physicality. There's been a lot more, conditioning. So I'm excited for that because we've seen the Giants come out of the gate in the seasons past and not very good. Jay says, over under how many times JMS gets his poop blown up. Probably not much, because I don't think we'll see him much, to be honest. Again, I think you'll see these guys play one series or so. We do see, of course, Russell Wilson on the field right now, ready to go, trying to pump up the team. Again, it's going to be interesting. I'm kind of curious to see what happens here. It's, we're going to probably, let's be honest, we're going to overanalyze every single play right now, because that's what happened. Remember a couple of years ago when 23, when the Giants didn't play any of their starters except for one drive, and then next thing you know, Next thing you know, you go ahead and have like one of the worst offenses when the only time you saw them preseason was a touchdown. Everybody's all excited. Oh, we got a touchdown. The only drive they played. They must be great. Such a small sample size. Jason's got the offense without Neighbors and Thomas. Looks like this show when you don't show up and Rob is there. Oh my God. Don't be mean to Rob. He's not even here to defend himself. He says JMS is too valuable. Oh man, we're screwed. It's not that he's too valuable. It's just you're not going to single out JMS and say, oh, the rest of the starters can come out, but JMS, you have to stay for the whole game. Like, don't get me wrong. It can't hurt him necessarily unless he gets injured, which is a possibility considering his history, but that's just not what they're going to do, guys. Interestingly enough, they're also showing the stadium right now in Buffalo. And guys, this stadium is empty. Empty. Whoa. So the big news they're also giving on the Bills side, is I'll give that in case anybody's a Bill fan also watching, is that James Cook was in a one practice snap they had him there in warmups, and everybody's making a big deal. He's been in a contract dispute there. He is stressed. He's not expected to play. Josh Allen also not expected to play. The Bills are not expected to really play their starters. So again, that comes into how we're going to analyze our starters when they play, because it's already been said, again, they're going to be playing. You can't sit there and go crazy over anything this team does positive if they're playing backups. At the same point, if they don't look good against backups, that's pretty bad as well. So, unfortunately, there's not much win for the Giants in this, because if they do good, I'm just going to sit there and say point blank, well, the starters play good, but they played against backups. But we are going to call them out, obviously, if they don't play good against backups. So, like I said, they're definitely in a lose-lose situation here. So, we'll see how it goes there. Like I said, we are just about ready here for kickoff here. For those who want to watch the game, I might have been looking for that. It is on NBC4. It is also on NFL Network. It is also streaming if you have the NFL Plus as well. So plenty of options to go ahead and watch the game. It's also on Giants.com, though I do believe you have to live in the New York area to get it on Giants.com. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong on that one there. But I happen to have NFL Plus, so I have it on that. So I can't validate that part there. But yeah, guys, this is a weird game to go into, because it's like part of me wants to go, this is very important because we got the very first action of a season here. We got rookies we're going to see for the very first time. But again, we're going to be honest, say that nothing is going to make or break these guys' seasons in this game. So kickoff is underway here as the Bills have deferred. So we got the Giants starting. Got a touchback there on the very first action here of the season, as we got Russell Wilson now trotting out onto the field there. So JMS is out there. You'll be happy. But yeah, let's see what we got here. Looks like we got Runyon out there. I can see. I know Hudson's probably out there, I'm guessing, for the replacement of Andrew Thomas, with him still being out. I'm going to verify. We got the number here, so I can verify that. Yep, James Hudson the third. All right, we got shotgun formation to start here. Got Zach Pascal on the slot in motion, going back to the original side. Short pass, Wilson. That's a catch to Tracy. Wrapped up pretty much at the line of scrimmage, though. Jay says I need to refresh second snap part off. So they're going to be probably a little back, because that's what it is when you stream. So unfortunately, that's a downfall of the streaming stuff. It's nice though that you can get it pretty much anywhere, though. I remember, when I first moved down here to Florida, it was without paying for the Sunday ticket, unless you do something not so legal. It was a little not so fun. Shotgun formation again. Handoff to Tracy. Going to get about 2 yards. Jay's being a spoiler alert, saying third and 8, Tracy fumble. Don't be the spoiler, Jay. Don't be the spoiler. There's the 3rd and 8, even though Jay already gave it away. Another shotgun formation. So Was a toss to Tracy. Would have been a first down if he had not fumbled it, basically. And yeah, fumbles it though. Definitely not good after the fumble issues last year. But yeah, fourth down. Oh, so they are calling it fourth and short, actually. He was pretty much right at the line of scrimmage when that happened. Let's see the replays going on right now. Yep, his knee was down. That's actually a good call. But again, it does definitely call for a little bit of a concern because of the fact that Tracy had the issue with the fumbles. So 4th and 1, and yes, they are going for it. Tracy gets the call again, gets about 1 yard past the line of scrimmage there. So he says the top internet content creator, good internet connection. Just saying, it's not the internet connections. Oh my gosh. All righty. So we got 1st and 10 here. All right. Another shotgun formation. Interesting. It's been from a shotgun. Quick pass to Theo Johnson. So it only looks like a couple yards on that one there. Nothing too crazy. But I like at least they're getting Theo Johnson involved. I think he's got the potential to have a decent season if he can stay healthy. That's pretty much everybody in the Giants, though. If they can stay healthy. So, all right. 2nd and 7, guys. All right. Under center this time, at least. Not a shotgun. Pass to Russell Wilson. Nice pass there. Trying to see who to. Wan'Dale Robinson. Look at that. Wan'Dale Robinson getting an option for a pass 3 yards down the line. That was a nice, would be probably the longest pass of the year to Wan'Dale Robinson if it was last year. But if we got 1st down again. Let's see here. 1st and 10 there. All right. Under center again. Fakes the handoff, end around. Montreal Washington. We talked about him earlier this week. Guys have getting a lot of hype in preseason as a guy, in the training camp that may actually make the roster after initially not being a guy you would think would. Just a couple yards in the end around there. All right. So we got 2nd down coming here. That was, listen, actually could have been a bigger play on the replay. If you look at a Daniel Bellinger, not the best block in the world on that edge. Russell Wilson again under center. 2 and 7. 2nd and 7. Another Theo Johnson catch here. Looks like about a 5-yard catch. There is a flag in the play. We'll see. Jace's offense is moving along quite nice. What do you think, Drew? Again, it's hard to make too much of a pro or con here when you're talking still about the preseason. Still gonna watch it. We're still gonna overanalyze it probably, but I can't change an opinion off of 1 or 2 drives potentially. All right, so it was on the Bills, the penalty, by the way, guys. So we got 2nd and 10, 2nd and 2 now for the Giants. Again, Wilson under center. Interesting, they had him shotgun. Now it's under center. But we got 2nd and 2. Hand off to Tracy again, who's going to get that 1st down, get about 3 yards past, about a 5-yard gain there. It's a solid game. As for some reason they are nonstop about Tre'Davious White. I guess because it's maybe a decent story for the Bills to get him back there. They have him listed as a starter on the depth chart there, but the guy's like 40 years old at this point. He's been playing for so long. Didn't play on the Bills last year after being a long time Bill. Russell Wilson rolling out, gets it out to Bellinger, basically gets back to the line of scrimmage there. So yeah, not exactly a great first down play there. Taron Johnson got the stop. He's their starting slot corner. So they are playing some starters here after not talking about not playing them before the game here. So at least this is a bit better of a gauge of what the Giants offense can do, I guess. But all right, 2nd and 10, guys. Now, ball is at about the 27-yard line, by the way, guys. So, all right. I was waiting for that flag. There was way too much movement up front, that's for sure. False start on the Giants. I think it's on Hudson. Yep, on Hudson. That was a ton of movement. I was hoping there was a flinch by the defense or something first, but no, that was all on Hudson. Yeah. They're showing the replay right now. But nice thing is, Bose is in there. I mean, granted, he's not, as great a player as his name is, I'll put it that way, but hasn't been really causing any chaos yet so far for Hudson. A guy that we, quite frankly, have been not so positive on. 2nd and 15 now, thanks to that penalty. Going back to the 32-yard line. Delayed handoff to Tracy. Looks like in about 2 yards. Another flag on the play, though. Oh, Devin Singletary. They changed it. Who it was? Devin Singletary there for a couple yards. Motor in. Holding on Hudson. That's the 2nd penalty on Hudson now this drive. 2nd and 3 plays, guys. Don't want that to be a told you so situation, but I'm definitely, like I said, not thrilled about Hudson being on this team. Alrighty, guys. So now 2nd and 25, ball backed up all the way down to the 42-yard line. At least maybe we'll see a nice deep pass there. There you go. Gets Theo Johnson. Gets to about the 39-yard line there. So that's not too shabby a play, at least for, I mean, let's be honest, guys. You're not going to get 25 yards in one shot typically. So you got to get those in a couple pieces. So 3rd and 18 now it goes to, which is still not exactly a great 3rd down situation, but a whole lot better than 25. That's for damn sure. All right, 3rd and 18, shotgun formation again. Here we go. Russell Wilson just tossing it out incomplete, meant for Singletary, but had a lot of pressure and threw it away. Let's hit the replay here. See who messed up on that. Bosa definitely pushing on again. Hudson and Oliver was also in there, got a hand of the pass. Yeah, definitely not great blocking. That's for damn sure. So they are going to go for the field goal, though. 53-yard field goal they're going for. And let's see. Here we go. Good. So Giants officially up 3-0. Not a bad first drive there. Again, I don't want to give too much into a into a first drive in the preseason there, but not a bad drive. Definitely some concerns you got there, especially the offensive line. Where have we heard that before? That's been the issue basically for ever, it feels like. But here we go as we got that. But yeah, guys, we got 3-0. Again, at least we get some points on the board there. But the Giants were driving before the offensive line was causing issues. That's for sure. So, the big question now comes into be: is that going to be it for the offense? At least the starting offense. Is that going to be it? Are we going to see these guys again? I'd like to see the offensive line again. That's for sure. I think they clearly need some work based on how they just did. We'll have to see. I'm also curious now that with the defense coming up, though, like we're going to see here the debut of Abdul Carter. And that's going to be a fun one there. Because Abdul Carter, again, guys, we've talked about how he has been someone who point blank has been nonstop as far as headlines all throughout the the training camp there. Give me 1 second. Sorry. I'm trying to ban these spam posts we're getting nonstop by people that are trying to get you guys to watch legal, videos here. I want you guys comments to be up there, not these spammers. Watch however you want to watch. I am judging if you use use websites that aren't exactly on the up and up, but I'm not going to keep comments up if I can avoid it that I don't know are good places to go. I don't want you guys getting viruses or anything crazy. But yeah, defense coming up here again. No Josh Allen. Originally I'd heard the Bills weren't really going to play starters at all, but I know no Josh Allen for sure. So we'll see. Maybe there's some, but you got Mitchell Trubisky, you got Mike White. We're going to see what's going on. Jay now mocking the spammers. Oh my gosh. But yeah, let's see here. Jason, what do you think of Sanders, Drew? Listen, again, it's a preseason game. I'm not going to go crazy on it, but he looked good. I mean, you can't dispute that. He looked good. It's just a matter of how hyped you want to get about a preseason game. Here we go. Chewy says take Wilson, Theo, and Wandale out next series. Yeah, I mean, listen, anybody you're worried about getting injured and it's battling anything shouldn't be in this past stat. That's for sure. Mitchell Trubisky, is the quarterback here to start this. So that'll be interesting. We've seen enough of him. We know what he is, So here we go. 1st and 10 for the Bills. Trying to see who they got out there exactly so we can see what's going on. There was definitely a movement up front, and there is a false start. So Giants do have all the starters out there. I'm trying to see where Carter is. I do have a reason I had the headphones on. I had the telecast in my ears so I can hear what's going on. Dawson Knox with a false start, by the way. So they actually do have the starters out there, just not Josh Allen, not Cook, obviously. So they do have a decent amount of starters out there. So I don't know how much of a test it is without having Josh Allen out there, but yeah, it looks like Abdul Carter is not there on the field from what I'm seeing. All right, shotgun formation, ball snap, quick catch. Oh, nice hit. Nice hit, Micah McFadden knocking the ball out before the catch is finalized. So that's what Micah McFadden does, though. Again, we like him as a player. I just don't like him on 3rd down. I think he's a good linebacker. You just have to have that guy to play on obvious, plays where you're going to have to go ahead and cover deep. That's not going to be something he does well. So. All right, here we go. Second play, Trubisky going for a shot, but nowhere near the receiver. So banks on coverage. I want to see the replay, but I was watching the ball. I want to see if he actually turned his head for once. So let's see. Here we go. Here's the replay. Not the best snap. Burns was going for it. Ooh. Got Nacho, looks like, in there too. All right, 3rd and 15, guys. This Giants defense is looking good against this offense. Again, no Josh Allen, but 3rd down and long, short down. Dalton Kincaid, the tight end, 2nd-year tight end from Utah, gets a decent gain there, but what's it for that false start to be a first? But we got 4th down coming here with another 5 yards to go. Looks like I want to see who was supposed to block him, who's supposed to cover him, see what's going on. Gives a pop to Thibodeau, and then he's just wide open in the middle. There's a big gap in that coverage. I think the Giants definitely allowed it though, because they do need 15 yards. Don't give up the big one. Give up the short thing, So yeah, punting away for the Bills here. Here we go. Amir Smith Marset gets it, makes a couple moves, gets a couple yards. Nothing too crazy there. Jay says, what are you guzzling on, Drew? This is actually just some electrolytes and water, actually. In game day, I don't do too much drinking, really. Because I do got to do 3 hours here with you guys and then a post-game show on top of that. So, yeah. It's a lot of talking. Got to keep hydrated. Now, maybe later on. Maybe if we win, I break out some nice bourbon or something. But yeah, nice series by the defense overall. Again, Mitchell Trubisky is in there. So how much of a test is it really? I'm not to downplay everything positive the Giants do. Got to acknowledge good first drive for the Giants defense there. But again, with a bad quarterback against them. So got to take it for that grain of salt to a certain degree. They did challenge Banks on the one play. We're nowhere near him, though. So you can't say how he would have done in coverage because I really want to see him a lot. He had one interception this past week here in training camp. That was kind of a big deal because got to turn his head around to get it, obviously. Now, Giants offense coming back on the field here for this second drive here shortly as we're in a commercial break right now. The big question is going to be is how many starters do we continue to see? I am kind of curious to see that part there. I think that you'll probably see Jameis, though. We'll see what they say, but you'll probably see Jameis. You'll probably see some of the backups there. Again, you did have some backups there in that first drive, though, as well, with, Thomas out, Neighbors out. I even saw Dalen Cambry, the undrafted rookie free agent, out there for a play or two as well. So, they're definitely not playing only starters that first drive there. So I'd imagine, again, you're going to see a lot of these starters probably come out there starting the second drive here. We shall see. All right. They are cutting back to it here. Oh, now they're doing a flashback instead. Talking about Steve Tasker. Was a really good player back in the day. But if they're going to show anything at Giants Bills, show the wide right. Show the wide right. Like, that's what you should show. Maybe I'm biased as a Giants fan, but that's the biggest moment there in Giants and Bills, obviously. God damn, these streamers, people are just like nonstop right now. Yep. It is Jaxson Dart out there. Quick pass, first completion of his career here. Woo. That's a nice quick start. So that's Zach Pascal on the catch there, it looks like. There we go. 6 of 7, 28 yards. Russell Wilson ended on that drive. That's not too bad a stop there. I'm shocked. Jaxson Dart here. I wonder, are we going to see a lot of Dart there? All right, here we go. Under center. Handoff. Singletary loses about a yard, I think, on a 2nd and 1. Jay says these streamers want to service your fans who want live sports. Listen, I get it, and that's why, like I said, I have multiple monitors going. I can do all kinds of stuff. We always tell people, in the end, watch the game on your phone. Watch the game on your TV. Put us on your phone or your tablet or something like that instead. Just mute the TV. Easy way to watch. All right, shotgun formation here again. Off to Singletary, who slipped there initially, but he's going to get the first down. Going to get about 3 yards, so nothing too crazy there, but at least we get the first down. Singletary, obviously a little bit of a homecoming for him, going back to Buffalo where he had his best years, obviously, with Brian Dable. So, looks like there's some footing issues, though, because it looks like the way that Motor was looking at his cleats and kind of trying to dig him in a little bit there. All right, 1st and 10, shotgun formation again. Dart fakes the handoff, throws it wide open. Ooh, Greg Dulcich. That's 2 for 2 star for Dart. If I get too excited, guys, keep me calm. Keep me calm. It's preseason. It's preseason. But it's hard not to get happy to see a first-round quarterback playing well. And there's still some legit players in here. Unfortunately, the NFL Network is not giving a full rundown of who's on the field here, but I know they mentioned Tre'Davious White. Again, he's up there in age, but he is technically one of their starting corners. All right, another shotgun formation. Oh, quick slips out of the rush there, gets it back to the line of scrimmage with a quick pass there to Dulcich again. But again, got out of a nice move there, at least get out of the pressure. That I want to see the replay on that one. Here we go. Yeah, totally unblocked. And he just made a quick shift move and threw it quick. That was a nice move. I gotta say again, I don't want to get too crazy excited about anything that goes on with Dart right now, but I'm liking what I see so far. That's for damn sure. We just got a little bit of a break here as there is an injury there. I couldn't see who it was. I was focused more on watching the replay on the Giants part there, but you know, we'll have to see what happens when they come back there. Definitely not going to hope for injuries in a preseason game, even though we're playing the team, obviously. Trying to see who it might have been. Was it Teron Johnson? I thought I saw number 7 on there, which that's who that is for the Bills. Jay says, I thought you wanted to bubble wrap him. Boo. It's not that I want to bubble wrap him. I want it to be where a scenario where if he does well, just take him out, let it go, let it be a learning experience, let him build some confidence. You know, I don't like keeping him in because of the risks. Now, is there reward potential as well? Of course there is. But there is definitely some risk there. That's for damn sure. If you keep him out and he starts playing worse, that's for sure. So, but like I said, you know, it's a good start. It's a good start for Dart. I'll take it. What I would like to see is him throw deep, just because that would really get us pumped up a big play. But you know, again, the big thing is just he looks good. He looks serviceable. He doesn't look embarrassed out there, because again, he's a project. He's nowhere near ready. So. Jason needs to protect the lead first rounder like your Bel Air. Oof, I do love my 57 Bel Airs. I'm just saying, maybe we could put up a link on the buymeacoffee.com for a 57 Bel Air. We wouldn't complain if someone bought one for us, that's for sure. Wouldn't complain. Wouldn't expect it either, but you know, I listen. I always say in life, you don't get 100% of the things you don't ask for. So, I'm even muting the commercials at this point. There, these commercials are loud as all hell compared to the game. But yeah, like I said, good start to Dart overall. I'm hopeful that continues, obviously, but we'll have to take a look and see as they're about ready to get back to the game here. All right. Okay. Enough with the advertisers now. They finished the commercials to go back to telling us who's sponsoring the game. That's what an advertiser is, right? All righty. Back to the game, guys. Come on. That is one of the worst parts about football, though. Always is so many ads. So many ads. It's amazing how you can watch the post, like, you know, the post productions of the game when they take out all the commercials, and it's like feels like it's like 40 minutes to watch a game. 3rd and 3. Here we go. Shotgun formation again. All right, here we go. Moving around a little in the pocket, throws to the middle, incomplete. They said he's looking for Dulcich, who was being covered by DeMar Hamlin, but camera work was horrible on that. Apparently, we got the preseason camera crew too, so it was so far off. I'm almost wondering if he wanted somebody else. Here we go. Now they show a deeper shot of it here. Yeah, there was nobody there. It's just a bad throw. Yeah, he had potential to get that first down. Just a bad throw. Jamie Gillen off to the punt in his brand new number 12, since he gave up number 6, of course, to Jaxson Dart. And yeah, their kick returner slips. So get about the 20-yard line there. Jason, I need some crazy Dart highlights so the NYG social media goes crazy and Russ goes to the glue factory where he belongs. Oh my God. Is that a Bronco thing to the glue factory? But listen, we're not going to put Dart out there to start the season, no matter how he looks. Though I will say you're not wrong in saying that it's going to create additional, additional pressure at that point, where if Russell Wilson starts playing not so good. Trying to see who's out there right now. They're not showing the best of shots here. I saw Brian Burns there. They showed in the corner of the screen. So yeah, we do have starters still out there. And Ray Davis with a run, second-year running back out of Kentucky. Gets back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Interesting that they're keeping the starters out there on defense. So we'll have to see how long they keep them in for. I'm kind of shocked they're still in there. Now I haven't seen, if anybody sees an Abdul Carter sighting, go ahead and let me know. I haven't really seen him in the game yet. So we'll see what they do with him. All right. Oh, Trubisky gets got to cover it. A lot of Giants out there, but he gets a first down. Late flag comes in, but there is a whole lot of Giants that were so close to getting Mitch Trubisky. It's not even funny. Let's see. Roughing the passer. Oh. So yeah, that's a big penalty there. Roy Robertson Harris on roughing the passer. Let's see what's going on here. So you had Burns making some pressure. You got 2 or 3. Yep, and there we go. Honestly, that's so close. That's so close. That's the problem. Jason, what about the Brian Burns mini-me dude, Bo Collins? Is he playing? I haven't seen him yet out there. But again, they're not doing a very good job of the telecast of telling you who's out there. So you only see what you can see as far as numbers wise, First down here. You got a ball by the 44-yard line, and Davis slips, but he gets back up, and he's still going to get about 5 yards. So we get more and more spam comments here. Oh, nope. These guys are prolific today. Sheesh. Nice thing is, what I'm doing is I'm not just deleting the comments. I am banning them as we go. So hopefully that won't be a problem going forward. All right. So 2nd and 6. They're giving Davis 4 yards in that one. I got to get a couple yards for Davis again. Nothing too crazy. Again, got all the starters out there. So Taron Johnson, the injury we talked about earlier for the Bills, was a concussion. He's been cleared. So in case you got any Bills fans watching, I'll try to be nice and let you know what's going with your team too. Again, I'm not seeing Abdul Carter out there at all. All right. So we got 3rd and 4, shotgun formation. Mitch Trubisky still out there. Giants defense definitely creating a little bit of havoc, but not getting to the quarterback. But there we go. Paulson Adeba, though, stopping the play after just a couple yards. So again, 4th and 3. I mean, if you think about it, guys, besides that one rushing the passer penalty, this has been a pretty damn good setup by the defense so far. I'm kind of liking it. Another spammers are just like prolific guys. Woo. This is crazy. Interesting. I just saw on the sidelines Gunnar Olszewski, who they just re-signed recently, is wearing number 0. So he's sharing the number with Brian Burns. Luckily, those two look so different. It's going to be pretty obvious to know which one's which. All right, another spammer ban. So officially into the second quarter, we're going, guys. So 1 quarter down, 3 more to go. Again, not a bad start there. I'm going to say, not a bad, it's nothing crazy good, obviously, but the defense has looked pretty decent against mostly starters. Obviously, minus Josh Allen, which does make a big difference. I think we can all agree it's a big difference between, Josh Allen and Mitch Trubisky. I'm sure the Bills would also agree on that. But the defense looked very good overall. Russell Wilson came out, did his thing, got a field goal on the one drive he played. Offensive line wasn't exactly the best for that drive, especially James Hudson. Then we went ahead and, go into the, second series with Jaxson Dart, who looked very good as well. Again, not amazing, but pretty good, especially for his first series ever in the NFL. Drew Reviews Music says loves how the defense looks so far. Now, for the record, that's a different Drew. That's not me. But yeah, this is, like I said, not a bad start. I'm okay with how things look so far. Defense look good. Offense, okay. I mean, I don't want to toot their horn too much, but definitely the only concern I have so far is the offensive line. There's definitely been the issues with blocking so far. So, but obviously the Bills aren't exactly a slacker defense either. So, again, you're not going to change opinions one or two. One quarter is not going to change an opinion of any player, any team, any side of the ball. But this has been what I kind of expect from the Giants this year. Defense doing their thing. Offense looking better than last year, but not looking amazing. I mean, I don't think anybody's expecting amazing. But you also got to keep in mind this offense is looking okay without Malik Neighbors, obviously the best offensive player on the entire roster. Without Andrew Thomas, obviously the best offensive lineman, if not the second best offensive player overall. So, no Cam Scadaboo as well, obviously. I haven't seen him. I haven't heard any word if he's going to play or not yet. Obviously, he's been dealing with the injury, so I highly doubt it. So yeah, it's been interesting. Let's say it is the Bills telecast there, I should say as well. So if you guys are on the Giants telecast one, so obviously preseason, they typically each get a telecast version. If they say something that I don't mention, I'm on the NFL Network one, so I'm stuck watching the Bills stuff. Feel free to let me know anything that you hear on the Giants side. Punting it away now. So Giants about to get the ball back here. They're letting it just go right to the end zone. So touchback. As the Bills side keeps showing their new stadium they're starting to build there in Buffalo. If you look at the renderings at all, I don't know how many people are into stadiums as a whole there. It's a nice looking stadium, guys. Be another one better than MetLife, that's for sure. That's saying much. MetLife Stadium is just so bland, it's not even funny. Again, Giants offense coming out there. If the Bills people will stop talking, we'll find out who's going to be going for quarterback. I would like to see more Dart though. I don't think one series was enough for me to. And it is Dart out there. So 1st and 10, Dart is under center. Here we go. Little pump fake, holding on to it way too long, but he's making a run for it. He's going to get about a yard. Definitely was holding on to it for long. That's one concern you keep hearing about him a lot in training camp, holding on to the ball too long. That was definitely way too many Mississippis, but let's see. Second down here. There we go. 2nd and 9. This Bills telecast is horrible, guys. All right, here we go. Quick handoff there. And right back to the line of scrimmage. So not much, that's for sure there. So that was, it looks like Dante Turbo Miller. I thought I saw 25. Again, the Bills telecast is just so focused on talking about the new stadium. They're not actually showing you or telling you anything about the game itself there. So, all right, 3rd down and 9. This is going to be interesting. Giants are only 1-4 so far on 3rd downs, by the way. Definitely looks like a potential fake blitz, and it was a fake blitz. Okay, we got a screen. There we go. There we go. Dante Turbo Miller. It's turbo time for the 1st down. Woo! Guys, I know we've talked about the Turbo probably more than any other Giants podcast. This kid, look at how fast he is. Look what happened. He got the ball. This kid is fast. But he's also a strong player as well. Again, if he had come out into the combine a couple years ago, he would have had the best physical scores of every single player basically out there on the running back position. So quick pass there on 1st down. Oh, nice move. Oh, long pass. Here we go. And of course, they're not even talking about who it is, but it's Montrell Washington. Again, the Bills telecast sucks. Massive play. Made a guy miss. Again, Wash, we said, is making some noise there in camp. He's a guy that is going to probably make the roster after being a guy we didn't think would originally. But yeah, that's a nice play there. I want to see this a replay again, but they're not even showing it. So we're down now to the 32.5 yard line, we'll call it. 1st and 10 as we get, oh my God, another spammer there. Jaxson Dart going for it, running for the ball here. Looks like about 5 yards on the run. Sorry, I'm trying to get these spam comments out of here too as well, guys. I think I accidentally deleted Drew Reviews music by accident there. Sorry about that, man. Trying to get rid of these BS spam ones. I might start doing is during the games. Picked up. No, okay. Oof. See what happened? Try to ban these people and get rid of the stuff you missed stuff. Incompletion, yeah, but they was close to interception. I think what I'm going to start doing, guys, give you a heads up. I might have start if this continues with these spammers as they replay. Hold on, let's watch. At least they got a hand on it. And yeah, they just incompletion. The guy did not come down with it, but definitely was a little bit tipped there. 3rd and 5 here. I'll tell you what I was going to tell you in a minute here. 3rd and 5 shotgun formation. There you go. Dart back, going for it deep. Oh, touchdown! Wash. No, it wasn't Washington. Sorry, that was little Jordan Humphrey. Wow. Listen, Dart is impressing so far, guys. Again, I'm trying not to get too psyched here, but Dart is impressing. He is looking good. And again, they have had a lot of guys out there. Marcus Bowe, you see out there too as well. Nice to see him. Russell Wilson going out there, congratulating everybody as well. So, as the Bills were still talking about their stadium on the telecast, show me the goddamn game. Stop doing that. Sheesh. So, Gano lines up for the extra point there. Nice though. That's like I said. This has been a nice start. This is what I was saying before. Is I would take him out now. Like you got enough. You got enough at that point. You've seen good things. He's got his first touchdown ever in the NFL. But we'll see what they do. Maybe the Giants want to give him a lot of time because he's not going to play in the regular season. I'm not sure. We're going to find out. But like I said, great start though. Great start. I am highly happy with how things have gone for Jaxson Dart here. That's I mean, you couldn't have asked for a better start to him. Let's see if I can find real quick the box score to give you guys that too as well. So let's see. Giants Bills box score. Here we go. I want to see exactly where he's at now. So let's see here off to the Giants side. So Jaxson Dart now 6 of 8 guys, 1 touchdown, 151.6 passer rating, 91 yards. So yeah, overall the day, both Giants quarterbacks combined 12 of 15. Very efficient on offense so far. Like I said, besides a couple of explosive plays in this drive, mostly just efficient. But you see, that was a nice drive by Dart, guys. Am I going to be a little crazy if I get a little excited here? Like, is that what's going to happen? Am I going to get a little excited? Because it's a nice start. Like I know it's a preseason game. I said this beforehand. No one should change their opinion. No one should get all hyped up. But it's a good start. It's a good start. It's everything you could have wished for so far in this game. Giants defense looks solid. It's been shutting down the Bills. Giants offense scored twice in 3 drives. Not too shabby. So, we'll see what happens though. We haven't seen Jameis Winston still a quarterback, obviously. We haven't seen Tommy DeVito still, obviously. So maybe what it is, they're going to give Meach a quarter. We'll have to see if that's the plan. That would make some sense to a certain degree. Give Meach a chance to see it. But again, I'm happy if I don't see Dart again the rest of this game. Nice start. That's for sure. Nice start for Dart. Now again, oh my God, more these spammers are just nonstop. Woo. Yeah, guys, what I was going to say before is I think what I'm about to start doing is it's going to be subscribers only for comments going forward on these games, because if this were to deal with these spammers doing this nonstop, that'll probably stop that. So just a heads up. Going forward, I may change that to be, only for subscribers to comment to avoid that issue. So easy way to solve that problem, if you want to comment on the show, would be just subscribe. So, all right. Kickoff about to start here. So the ball came off the tee. So they're reapply. Definitely a little bit of a breeze, that's for sure, to put it nicely. Nice thing is, I think the Bills have finally finished talking nonstop about their stadium, so that should hopefully, fix some of the issues. Alrighty, so returns about the 32-yard line there, guys. Guys, by the way, real quick, while we're setting up here, I'm going to let you all know, anybody maybe new to the channel, we do live shows every Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and the primary source for that, we always tell people go to YouTube. It's the best place to see us there. But obviously your choice. We are on YouTube. We're on Facebook, X/Twitter, Twitch, and of course my LinkedIn profile, because this program lets me put it on something like LinkedIn. So I do it there. 1st and 10, guys. And Trubisky's still out there. Starting offensive line still out there. Check down, but gets the first down. The fullback there. Ooh. That's the first big play the Giants have given. Oh, so we got more. These spammers nonstop. Let's see the replay. I want to see. Completely forgotten about basically what had happened. So nobody on bad coverage, just nobody covering the guy. All right, so we got 1st and 10 here, guys. Fakes the handoff. Trubisky rolling out to the right and throwing the run. He's got it. Deontay Banks on him. Banks definitely leaving way too much cushion on that play. So that was Joshua Palmer with the catch there. Look at that. You know what it is? Look, you see in the replay. Banks just lost him on the move. Point blank, lost him on the move. The kid just went a 5 yards out, turned to the right, and Banks just didn't turn with him right. That's just a bad coverage play. He can't be doing this if he wants to keep that starting job. Again, Cordell Flott is riding up his butt right now. Got a run here. Oh my gosh. Johnson with the Bills here. Ty Johnson gets a decent run, 13 yards. Defense is definitely not looking the same on this drive. That's for damn sure. They're missing a hold apparently as well on that. You can see that pretty obvious. So that was Timon Fox being held on that play, not called. I got a holding every play, don't get me wrong, but that was a pretty obvious one. All right, 1st and 10 again, which has seemed to be a recurring theme for the Bills in this drive here. Their ball is at about the 23.5-yard line there. Another run. Johnson, one missed tackle, another missed tackle. Looks like Lane, and was that Belton? I couldn't see it happen so quick, but so yeah, we definitely got the backups in there. There we go. So it was Belton. That's the guy who missed him in the second time there. Eventually brought down by O'Donnell Fortune, the undrafted rookie free agent that we are actually curious to see. I like that he's in there. Zone coverage specialist. 2nd and 2 for the Bills here. Definitely a big coverage here. You expected a run, and it is a run. So gets about 4 yards, 3-4 yards there. Gets that first down. Again, though, why would you not just run the ball? The Giants can't seem to stop it right now. The Bills are doing smart. Make you stop it. So we got 9 minutes left, guys, in the second half. The second quarter here. 1st and 10 again, once again for the Bills, who are definitely in scoring position here for the very first time this game. Again, this is backups now in a defense. So Mitch Trubisky, all the time in the world, got a wide open. Oh, Dawson Knox, who's in for the touchdown. I almost thought it wouldn't be a touchdown. Bad throw by Trubisky, but the defense was just so slow to react. It's not even funny. So, yeah, Bills are officially on the board. That was a bad drive for the Giants. Again, the starters were off there, so not the same as was the first couple of drives, that's for sure. The Giants backups couldn't beat the Bills starters basically minus Josh Allen. I mean, I don't want to go too crazy into that because I think it'd be hard pressed to have a lot. Oh, Ray Davis kicking for the extra point. Oh my gosh. But again, it's when our backups can't stop their starters, I'm not going to blow up and go crazy. That's what should happen. That's what should happen. But 8:37 left in the second quarter, though. Giants about to get the ball back here after yet another commercial break, guys. But again, let me know if you guys are upset about this. I can't see anybody being upset, and I can't see anybody that should be upset in this whole thing. Giants are, like I said, playing backups at this point there. Bills have mostly starters out there. Again, minus Mitchell Trubisky, which, again, bad pass by him on that touchdown. The fact that the Giants didn't get to Dawson Knox to stop that touchdown is a little bit. That's the one thing I'm going to harp on a little on that. That's a little scary that he literally had to go back for the ball and then still had time to run the end zone. That definitely should never happen. That should have been stopped much sooner. So, guys, again, I'm sorry. I was giving you guys information before on the show for the movie new. Again, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Myself and my usual co-host, Rob. We also will be on for every game this season. We'll be on for a play-by-play of the game, almost every game. We will be out for the third preseason game actually at the stadium. So Rob and I won't be around for a play-by-play on that. Can't play-by-play by the stadium there. And we might go to another game later on. So otherwise, though, if I'm not at the game, I'll be here with you guys. With that as well, we of course do post-game coverage at the end of every game as well. For those of you on YouTube, our post-game coverage will start immediately right after this is done, and it should direct you right over to there. For those who aren't, you're just gonna have to go basically back to the page because it will be a separate video if we use that for our podcast version for the audio. So we do have to separate that to have two videos. So now we got to find out who's going to be coming back out here for the Giants on offense. I want to see more Miller, that's for sure. I was excited by that big play by Dante Turbo Miller, guys. This is a kid we've been calling for him to get more time like crazy. This kid should easily be over Eric Gray at the depth chart. I don't want to say he should be over Motor, only in respect for everything Motor's done. But like I said, he's a kid I'm curious about. I still think there's potential for him. I really do. So let's see if they show the Hard Knocks. So glad we don't have a Hard Knocks preseason like that for the Giants. So we do have it in December. It will be a month of the NFC East. So we'll have to see what happens there, guys. All right. Come on, guys. Enough commercials. They're showing a Buffalo Bills on a boat. Guess they won't be winning any playoff games anytime soon. Transfer the curse from the Giants to the Bills. Transfer the curse. Oh my gosh. All right. We got the game back. There we go. Kickoff is there. And weird spin on the kickoff there as the so lands in the right zone, bounces back a little bit there. Amir Smith Marset is the guy who ended up getting it. He kind of waited a second because he was trying to see if the Bills kick went out of bounds. If it had, Giants would get the ball on the 40, so that's why they were hoping for that. But it stayed in. So got the ball about the 12-yard, and they got to the 18. So not a bad play still by the Giants. No mistake, just a really good kick by the Bills. Let's see who's out there. It looks like Jaxson Dart still out there. It looks like under center. Got motion there from Jermaine Terry the second. That's the undrafted rookie free agent tight end that we got here. Running play. Turbo. There we go. Turbo Miller gets about 6-7 yards, looks like. There is a flag in the play, though. Going to be a hold, they're saying. Jake Kubis, they're saying. Let's see. No, it's actually on Jermaine Terry, the tight end we talked about just a moment ago. He's from Oregon State. Oh, now they're correcting it. They said correction, but then they didn't say anything, so who knows? Again, preseason is not exactly the best coverage on TV, that's for sure. It's crazy because you got to wonder if people would get more into preseason football if it was better coverage. All right, so 1st and 17. So ball on the 11-yard line. Shotgun formation there for Dart, who's clearly looking and batted down. Hard to see who was about to throw to because it wasn't the best angle. It was Fedone. Okay, the 7th round pick out of Nebraska. That's what I thought it was, but I was trying to verify. But yeah. Again, offensive line is not doing the job today. I know it's a broken record, guys, for Giant fans, because that's what we have pretty much for the last 5-6 years now. But yeah, offensive line definitely not doing their job here so far. 2nd and 17 still, obviously, for the Giants. Another shotgun formation. Dart got a screen to Turbo Miller, who again makes something out of it here. But we're gonna have a 3rd down here. I couldn't see the exact yardage based on the camera shot there. Again, be nice if they told you this on this. Instead, it's Bills coverage. The Bills are too worried about talking about the Bills players and telling us what's going on in the damn game. I think what they should start doing, guys, and let me know what you think in the comments here, but I think what they should start doing is every time they do a preseason game, give me one person from, like this one, for example, give me one person from the Bills, one person for the Giants. Let them do a production together. All right, shotgun formation, obviously with 3rd and 12, doing a screen. Oh, to Miller. Miller's got it. Woo! Got about 13 yards, depending on the spot, but it looks like they got it. Miller again, and that was a high throw by Dart to get it over the defensive lineman there. But that's a nice play. That's a nice play, guys. Both for Dart on how he threw it, but and also Turbo for getting that many yards. Just you saw the speed again. You see the speed on him when he gets a chance. There's a reason they call him Turbo, guys. That kid is fast. Here we go. So Dart back to pass again. A lot of pressure again. He's scooting around and he's going to take off. He's going to get the 1st down. Hit more. There we go. The flag on the field there. We'll find out what the flag is. Back at the line of scrimmage, you got to think it's probably holding. Anytime there's a flag back on the line, I got to assume it's holding with that kind of play happening. No foul. 1st down. Never mind. They picked the flag back up. There we go. Trying to see exactly where we're at now. Unfortunately, again, they're not the best at giving us what's going on. Did it very good on that run, though. They scooted around to where he can get the most yards. I like it. Again, this has been a really nice start by Dart, guys. I cannot complain. Cannot complain whatsoever. And you guys know I love to. Bills do have a player down, by the way, so we're going to be an injury timeout there. Let me see if I can get you guys the yardage on that, because unfortunately, again, this really crappy telecast by the Bills is not giving us anything as far as that. Let me refresh here on that box score so we can get that. All right, let's move over to the Giants side. 19-yard rush by Jaxson Dart that was. So he's at 3 carries now for 24 yards. Like I said, really good, I thought. By the way, Dante Turbo Miller, 3 targets, 3 catches, 36 yards. He's officially right now the receiving yards leader for the Giants. Followed by Montreal Washington, who had that 1 catch, has a 29-yard catch, and then Little Jordan Humphrey, who had the touchdown, had a 28-yard catch. And then Wan'Dale Robinson 1 for 11. So, listen, not a bad start. The offense is moving the ball again, guys, too. It's just, when's the last time you heard of that? Me talking about the Giants. Ooh, not very often. Not very often at all. Now, again, we got backups in. So don't want to get too crazy there, but Dart's looking good, guys. 8 of 11 now for 109 yards. Can't complain. Maybe Jay was right. Maybe I'm too cautious with Dart. Here, I'll give it to you, Jay. Maybe I'm wrong. It's possible. Wouldn't be the first time I'm wrong, that's for sure. But yeah, nice start to the game though. See if we can get a last score in too before the halftime. That'd be nice. Again, it's that the scores don't matter too much in preseason, guys. I get that part of it there, but it is a nice confidence boost, I think, for Dart to have a nice showing. You know, and I think for Giants fans as well, I'd like to see it also so nobody starts talking about Shedeur Sanders more. Those of you missed it, he did play for the for the Browns there, 14 of 23, 138 yards and 2 touchdowns, 19 rushing yards as well for Shedeur Sanders yesterday. So, you know, did play against the Panthers. So good outing for him in his first run. But you know, he's that guy. I just feel like there's gonna be Giants fans who will say we should have drafted him basically as long as he's in the NFL and looking halfway decent. So I got to bring it up for those guys. I don't agree with you, but I'll give you the numbers just in case. But let's see here. First and 10. Come on, let's get back to football action. Here we go. Shotgun formation again. Ball's at the 48-yard line. Jaxson Dart throwing it deep again. Looking for a flag, I think. Is that Dalen Cambray? Yes, it is. Yeah, that was Dalen Cambray. I want to see a replay on it, but it looks like it was a decent throw. It's just the kid couldn't get open. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good throw. I'm not even going to put it on Dart. That's 100% on. And Cambray almost got it. He got a hand on it. That was close. All right, so 2nd and 10, guys. Got Turbo in motion. Quick throw. A dart by Dart to little Jordan Humphreys here. About 8 yards there. So that upset down to 3rd and 2. Nice play in a 2nd down after having it. Oh my God, will they stop talking about this damn Bill Stadium? Just nonstop. Just nonstop, guys. I will say again, the stadium does look nice. I give them credit. It's a massive stadium as well. Comparison wise, not seat wise. There's actually less seats, but massive in size. All right. 3rd and 2. Ball's at about the 42, 43 yard line. Dante Miller getting at the outside, gets the first down and much more. There we go. It's turbo time. 10-yard gain, guys. Can we just cut Eric Gray now? Seriously. Nice job by Miller. Gets that speed. He goes to the outside, makes nothing to something there. He was at most running backs been dead to rights in that. All right, so 1st and 10. Ball's now at 39-yard line. Shotgun formation again. Jaxson Dart, quick throw out. Incomplete. Looking for a little Jordan Humphreys there, but just a little off on the throw there. Just a little bit off to the right. He would have had a chance to get it, but it was a little bit off. That's probably his worst throw of the night. And like I said, I'm not going to harp on it. Every quarterback has bad passes. All right, lining up here, 2nd and 10. Could they be under center this time? Tight formation. You got motion going here as we are running the ball. Nice by up. No, Turbo Miller looks like. Oh no, it's Ward. Sorry, he said. So Jonathan Ward, that's the guy we just signed this week, and he looked like he slipped a little bit there. Might have had a little bit of room to throw to run otherwise there. Just 3 yards. So 3rd and 7 being set up now. All right, so shotgun formation again. Trying to see who the running back is. I'm curious. They kept Ward out there. If they brought Turbo back in. Turbo's been a big part of the offense here. Go shotgun formation. Quick toss. Incomplete pass to Montreal Washington. And a little bit low, but low by design by Dart. He had to do it to get the chance for Washington to get it. But field goal unit is still coming out, the guys. Here we go. Let's see if we get this here. But like I said, a couple of bad passes for Dart in this one here. Nothing crazy I'm going to kill him for. Got in, but barely. Woo. 53-yard by Gano. Literally hit the pile and just bink right in. So, all right. So 13-7 now we got. So this is definitely though the worst. Again, not to be negative about it there, but this is definitely the worst of the drives by Jaxson Dart. Couple of bad passes on there overall, but again, nothing too bad. Nothing, luckily the interception didn't happen. That was a tip ball, and it's much more than that than actually a mistake on his part there. But that would obviously put a little damper, that's for sure, on the night for Dart if he had an interception as well. But couple bad passes, but again, we got 3 more points, guys. 3 more points. Giants are doing good. I'm gonna take it. So keep in mind though, we're settling for field goals. 2 of the 3 scoring drives we've had field goals. One of them with Russell Wilson, one of them now with Dart, and of course Dart with the 1 touchdown of the day here so far for the Giants. But that's one thing I know I'll keep an eye on, because while 13 points in 1 half, let's say that's where we end here, because that might have been the final drive, obviously, for the Giants in this half. Not a bad start there, but it's a little disappointing to get so close to scoring twice and end up having to get a couple of field goals out of it instead of some touchdowns. We want touchdowns, obviously. Touchdowns are definitely the preferred. So, but now we get back to the defense being on, and Abdul Carter again. That's I would like to see a little Abdul Carter. That's for sure. He did get a little in that last series, but haven't seen anything from him yet. For a guy that was supposedly going to be the can't miss, going to be amazing kind of prospect here. And again, not going to go anything crazy there on a preseason game, but it would have been nice to see a little more. So, let's see here. Trying to see if anybody's got any news on him overall. Let's see here. So again, I'm trying to look at what's going on with Carter, because of the fact that, again, the Bills coverage is not giving him much. See here, but Abdul Carter blew by Dion Dawkins. Obviously, that's a guy who's a very good tackle in this league here. We're going to have to focus a little more on that now, but get about the 27-yard line down for the kickoff by the Bills. That's the kickoff by the Giants to the Bills, I should say. Sorry. Is a flag I saw raised are changing to go show some highlights and lowlights of Mitchell Trubisky. So we'll have to see what happens there. So let's see. They're replaying that touchdown again. That was a bad pass. Let's see. All right, here we go. Let's see what happens here. We got 1st and 10. Trubisky's still out there. So it looks like their plan is to play Trubisky the full first half and then maybe play James White the second half. It's interesting. They played it as like it was like a true competition, but it doesn't seem like it's much competition if you got him out there for a full half. Trubisky fires complete. 1st down. Tyrone Schaefer's, I think they said it is. Let's see here. Yeah, we're getting to the backups for his guys I'm not going to be as familiar with. Yeah, Shavers, Tyrone Shavers. Shavers is the wide receiver to have, and you're having more than one. Anyone understands the Schaefer's beer commercial? All right, let's see. I'm trying to see specifically where Carter is. I'm trying to watch him specifically, but not seeing much on him. Corey Durden, nice stop though on Davis there. Probably the best run stop we've had of the entire first half here so far. You know, again, I wish we can get the Giants coverage here nationally because this is ridiculous how much they're just Bills, 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 Bills on this whole thing. All right. So let's see. Trying to see the back here to see where. See if they got Abdul Carter out there. All right. Shotgun formation. Mitch Trubisky throwing the ball deep. And, incomplete. Zach Davidson on the attempt there. Raheem Lane was on the coverage. Raheem Lane was not even looking, but he did luckily smack the ball out of his hands right as he was trying to get it in. So, okay-ish play I'm in a game by Lane because if he just turned his head, who knows what he could have done. That's been the Giants' issues all along, though. If people in the secondary knew how to turn their head. All right. Here we go again then. 3rd down and 10 for the Bills. Throwing it deep again. That's going to be close. On Banks. One-handed catch. They're giving it to him. Oh, Christian Wilkinson. That's really nice. But again, look at this. Banks again. Turn your damn head around. Now they're saying maybe just 1 foot. So we'll see if they look at it again. But goddamn. I'm going to reset the chat on the screen, by the way, guys. Because it's just been, like I said, a nonstop on these spammers here. But yeah, Banks. Ooh, it's a bad look. That is a bad look. All right, let's see here. All right, let's see. Punting now. I want to see how many snaps Carter has had so far. Again, the Bills have not been the best at showing what's going on the Giants side. But I haven't seen anything crazy. Smith Marset with a nice return here. Getting about the 35-yard. Again, 2.5, just shy of 2.5 minutes, 2:26. So we'll have to see. Does Dart still trot out there? I'd imagine he would. I imagine they'd get him the full quarter. But again, nice start for the Giants. I'll still take it. I'm gonna still take it. I think that this is definitely a bit of a good start to the season. Again, I can't get too excited. It's preseason. Can't get too excited. But it's definitely been a decent one here. But let's see here. I'm going to see. They're actually showing some replays here since the Bills are not showing much on the Abdul Carter here. I'm trying to see what he's doing here a little better for you guys. Yeah, spin around. Nice. But all right. False start. As I'm trying to look that up, because God forbid the Bills actually show what's going on. That is on Thomas Fedone. They said it's on number 86. So 1st and 15, we're going to have the ball out there. And Jaxson Dart, like I said, is still out there as I expected there. Going to be a run there. Ward. I don't know why we don't have Turbo Miller back out there again. I know you're trying to give Ward a chance to display. Let's be honest. Ward's going to be cut the second Scattaboo and Gray and these guys get healthy again. But not a good player. I want to see more time with Turbo. That's for damn sure. So 2-minute warning, guys. And I actually kind of like that the Dart's in for that specifically. Like, I want to run this. If I'm Dable, I want to run this as if this is a 2-minute drill where I got to win this. I got to score this to win this game. I want that kind of scenario to be put into his head, and I want to see what he does. You can't do this kind of stuff in practice, haven't be quite the same. Like the guys on the defense, even though again they're defensive players of the Bills now, pretty much are all backups. These guys are still people that have pride. They're still people that are trying to make the roster. So point blank, that's how I'd run it from Dable. Like I kept you in here for a reason. I want to see what you got. Here's a 2-minute drill. Let's see what you got. And again, he's done pretty good so far, but that's a pressure-packed kind of situation there. So I'm just kind of curious to see what he does. I think if you want to judge Dart by what he's done so far as positive, and easily can, like really, really good start to his career. This here is probably going to be the biggest indication you'll see in this game of who Dart is. Because if he's got the drive that I think he has to want to go ahead and score, and he shows that here and does good, I think this is going to be the drive is going to get you guys excited about the Giants if that's what it is. At least the Giants' future, since again I don't expect to see Dart too much until the very end of the season. Russell Wilson will be out there obviously throughout the most of the season here. So let's see here. Trying to see if I can find out more on Carter. Again, I just hate the fact that the Bills is telecasting what they're showing on NFL Network. Not giving you guys much on that, and I want to give you guys what's going on with Abdul Carter because he's probably the second biggest story in this whole thing here. But they say he's out there for that second series, that's for sure. But I said, not too much they're giving you, that's for sure. Most people talking about how great they think he's going to be. But, looks different, generational. Look at, like I said, all that kind of stuff there. But, we'll have to see what happens. I think, again, we got to kind of limit the expectation of these rookies, that's for sure. If you're expecting a rookie to be your savior, you got issues. Point blank, you got issues. So, all right, let's see if we can get this rolling here, guys. As they're showing JJ McCarthy showing up for the Vikings game later on today. Talk about a guy with a lot of pressure. JJ McCarthy, probably the most pressure ever for a guy that's literally starting off his career with a team now that needs him to win, needs him to be impressive. Because point blank, Sam Darnold looked good for them last year, and they got rid of him. And they got rid of him so they can keep, JJ McCarthy with a chance out there. And those who watch on a regular basis will know that I'm not a big fan of JJ McCarthy's best move was really, handed the ball off. All right, shotgun formation again, 2nd and 15. Ball's about the 31-yard line. Jaxson Dart buying some time and over the middle. Montreal Washington wide open. Nice play. Again, he's buying some time there in the pocket. I like that. There's some pocket presence being shown by Dart in this. I'm kind of impressed by that. There's been that. I didn't expect that going into this. All right, shotgun formation again, 1st and 10. Again, this is a 2-minute drill option here. And he's tossing it deep. And again, wide open again. Playing catch here at Montreal, Washington. Again, he's playing backups. So I want to temper the excitement here. But this is a nice start here. Giants already down to the 38-yard line with 1:15 left. Clock is ticking, though. They're not in a rush, obviously, to use timeouts with that much time left on the clock. Dart, again, got time. Finds the open guy. Looks like, is that Turbo? Yep, Turbo Miller again. So 58, 57, 56 seconds here. 2nd down. 2nd and 4. Again, this has been nice on him. This is what I was saying. I thought he had the drive. I never questioned that with Dart. So giving Miller a chance to run the ball, going to get back to the line of scrimmage, 37 seconds, 3rd down, calling their first timeout, the Giants are. Makes sense. If you're to call a timeout at the end of the play anyway, you may as well run the ball once and see if you can catch him off guard. But like I said, not a bad 2-minute drill for him so far. The Bills, in all fairness, have kept guys wide the freak open. Montreal Washington back-to-back wide open. Like, that's bad. Stevie Wonder could have thrown the damn ball to him, find him open. But again, he found it. That's the big thing. He found it. I'll be excited when I see Jaxson Dart making good moves like this, because that's one of the things we said concern-wise we had going into it. And part of it, obviously, is the Ole Miss Lane Kiffin offense, but he only read half the field. And that's what concerned us, is could he do a full field? He's been doing good in this. He has. So, let's see if that continues here. We got 3rd and 5, 37 seconds left on the clock. Ball is about the 33-yard line. So you got to expect at the very least the Giants will get another field goal, but field goal would be a loss considering, how this drive is starting now. A shotgun formation again. They're sending the pressure, and he's delivering. Oh, almost caught by Montreal Washington. Got good coverage there by Couch, who had some coverage on it. Got a hand on it there. That's the Couch is who they have on the name there. Let me see. I don't know too much on Couch. Again, we're getting the backups there. Tekori Couch. So let's see here. Again, good play by him. I'll give him the credit. But going for the field goal, 4th and 5, 51-yard field goal. But again, I'm not hating that drive. Another field goal by Gano. And it is good, guys. So Giants go up to 16 now to 7. Again, I don't like that we're settling for a lot of field goals, but let's be honest, guys. When's the last time we scored 16 points in a half? If it is a preseason game, again, but that's something you don't see very often. 29 seconds left on the clock here, guys. They're showing the pregame. Josh Allen talking to Dable. Obviously, those two have a pretty good relationship. Joe Shane and Brian Dable talking to McDermott. Obviously, those two all worked with him in Buffalo. Seeming good at chummy too, which is nice. You heard rumors about Dable and how he left Buffalo, and McDermott wasn't getting along with Dable anymore. But sometimes it just happens in general. It doesn't mean you don't like each other. You just don't work well together over time. So I don't want to throw that into one of Dable's issues, like what he had with Wink, and also to a certain degree with Kafka, who's still on the team. But we'll see. But that's, like I said, if that's all we see for him, for Jaxson Dart, I'm excited, guys. That's a damn good showing for a first one. Kickoff is there. Return right now, getting about the 29-yard. So here we go. Did they go for anything? Did they take a knee? It's a preseason game, obviously. I would go for it. Again, this is the same as what I said with Dart. If I'm them, I'm going to go for it, because I'm going to treat this the same as a 2-minute drill. Like, I would tell him point blank, you got 20 seconds. This is for you to win the game. That's always my mentality. You can't get that kind of stuff in practice. It's not the same. Like, you can say it all you want that, oh, well, we can do this, we can do that. It's not the same. They are going for it. Good for them. They're going for it on a dump down to Davis there. Going to get down to 15 yards, get about 7 yards or so on there. They're calling a timeout. Good. They're doing it right. They're doing it honest. That's the way you should do it. Odd play on a first, when you got that going on, but I would probably go a little more downfield, but camera angle, again, not the best. Probably just didn't have anything open. So let's see what we got here. So 15 seconds left. 2nd and 3. So it was 7 yards in that play. Let's see what we got. Here we go. Let's see what we got. I'm watching specifically, by the way, trying to watch for Carter. Oh my God. Deep shot down the field. 6 seconds left. Shavers gets the ball down like the 5-yard line. Looks like O'Donnell Fortune. Again, that's the undrafted rookie free agent out of South Carolina. And he just couldn't keep up in the speed wise. This is what we said. Honestly, if they put Fortune in this kind of situation, this is partially on the Giants. Fortune is a really good zone coverage guy. He reads zones very well. We even talked about the fact that maybe he needs to be converted over to a safety to potentially work in the NFL. Great football mind. Does not have speed. Doesn't have speed. And Shavers just absolutely took advantage of that situation. Huge difference in the speed. So field goal unit's going out with 4 seconds left. So it looks like we're going to end up at a 16-10 at the half. You know, obviously nothing's a gimme fully, but this is definitely not one you would think is not going to be an easy kick there. Again, 24-yard field goal. So listen, as much as I don't want to give too much kudos to an opponent, kudos to Trubisky for seeing the guy wide open like that, and kudos to Shavers having a big play. He's definitely helping his case for staying on the Bills long term, that's for sure. Giants calling a timeout, trying to ice the kicker in a preseason game. We all just want to end this. But yeah, that would have been interesting. And they're talking baiting on the Bills telecast whether the Bills should go on for one more play. I would have honestly done it probably. I would have probably tried one quick slant, basically try to end it with like 1 second left on the clock and go for it then. But I think part of it might be the fact they just signed a kicker this week. They're having definitely issues finding a kicker, so maybe they just want to give him an actual live game scenario like that. That's probably just as valuable right now. And the kick is good as expected here. So yeah, we end up with going down 2 seconds left on the clock still, but it's going to be 16-10 now. Sean McDermott walking on the field talked to the ref about the fact that it should be 2 seconds gone. Because that is a little crazy. In 2 seconds, you're telling me they snap the ball, set the ball, kick the ball. That definitely seems a little off on the play clock. Again, it's preseason, guys. You do not get the same kind of quality. So let's see what we get. Oh, back to talking about the new stadium. We get it, guys. You're building a new stadium. Let's move on. Let's move on. They are just harping on the stadium like you would not believe. I get it. You're building a stadium. It's a nice looking stadium. It's a nice upgrade over what you got. But it's a nationally televised game. We don't care. Don't care. All right. They are punting away here. I was kicking off here. Punting. Kicking off here for 2 seconds left. Obviously, expect some kind of, squib kick or something like that to make sure that there's no return and there is no time left there. Oh, no, they are kicking off. And they're going for the return of the Giants side again. They got nothing to lose. Smith-Marset. Okay. Oh, Smith-Marset. Nice return here. Going to get down about the 40-yard line. There is a flag on the play. Obviously, I don't think anything's going to happen there to continue anything there. Be nice though to give 1 second back and give a nice big play for Dart to get a nice shot, deep shot downfield. But yeah, it was on the kickoff. It looks like. Refs are talking. They're out of practice. They don't know what's going on. I mean, honestly, if it's just an offsides call, then you just have to redo the kick. They'll decline it. Wish they did. They did. Illegal formation by the kicking team. Penalty decline. Just go to the half. That's what I thought. That's the right way. That's Shaq Thompson, by the way, the outside linebacker who got the penalty. Brian Dable then afterwards talking to Jaxson Dart as they're going out to going off to the tunnel there to go back into the locker room, guys. So 16-10. That is the end result here at the end of the first half here. So I'm going to turn the sound off now as they're going to just start showing random highlights of all the games going around, all the news here. So we're going to do real quick, guys, because it's halftime. We're going to pay the bills real quick, and then we're going to come right back and talk about what we saw here in that first half.
Thanks for watching. Like the show? Of course you do, or you would have turned it off by now and not be hearing me. There are plenty of ways to support the show. YouTube is the best place to join us, and we offer memberships there with fun benefits like custom emojis and early access to video clips. Of course, there you can also send super chats and stickers to send one-time support payments. The best way to support the show is to buy these drunk idiots beers at buymeacoffee.com/2giantgoofballs. Along with one-time support payments, there are also monthly plans, so you can continue to help kill their livers each month. You can also show people that you are a goofball by visiting our store at 2giantgoofballs-shop.fourthwall.com. We got everything from shirts, hats, phone cases, funny candles, buttons, stickers, and even a 2Giant Goofballs towel to dry off your goofballs. Of course, you can always support the show for free by simply hitting the like, subscribe, and share button wherever you are watching or listening to this. Hit the thumbs up on YouTube. Leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. It helps the show tremendously, and quite frankly, the goofballs suck at marketing and need your help to get the word out. Thank you for being part of the Goofball Army and for taking the time out to support the show.
All righty, guys. Let's talk about this first half here overall. Let's kind of break down first, go through the box score, and go through individuals and how they're doing, and we'll talk about the team as a whole here in a minute. So, obviously, the story of the first half is going to be Jaxson Dart, 12 of 19, 154 yards, 1 touchdown, a 106 passer rating there, 3 carries for 24 yards, including the 19-yard run he had there on a scramble. Listen, as good a start as you could obviously ask for Jaxson Dart there, guys. Absolutely. Like again, I don't want to blow it out of proportion. I don't want to go crazy here, but he did play against some starters, obviously, in the beginning. As the Bills did keep some starters out there for quite some time. Scored on 3 of his 4 drives out there. So yeah, can't complain at all. That's about as good as you can ask for out of Jaxson Dart there. Russell Wilson, obviously the starter in the game there, 6 of 7, just 28 yards. Guys, that's the one thing that you got to look at there. Is 28 yards on 6 completed passes. That's definitely not good. Jace's full-blown love. Listen, I full-blown love what he did today. If you're talking, because you're asking him a Dart, I full-blown love what he did today. Sure. Am I going to change my opinion of him yet? No. But am I hoping this is what we get on a regular basis from Dart and he continues to, bloom, as you say? Yeah, go for it, because it was a goddamn good start. But anyway, I guess I was saying Russell Wilson, like I said, just 4 yards. He's still trying to get on me, Jay. Says, no, we need to keep him bubble wrap. Listen, again, if he had failed, I would have been right. The same. If he had failed, you took a risk. The risk won. That doesn't mean it was the right move still. Anyway, back to what I said about what's your favorite, Jay. Russell Wilson, 6 of 7, like I said, just 28 yards, guys. That's an issue right there. The offensive line definitely did not look good in his drive, so that's definitely a concern there. But you cannot complete 6 passes for 28 yards. That is definitely not going to cut it, guys. 83.3 passer rating, but again, that's because the efficiency of going 6 for 7. Rushing wise, Jaxson Dart is actually our leading rusher right now with the 3 he had for 24 yards. Like I said, almost all of it on that 19-yard run. Dante Turbo Miller, 4 carries, 12 yards. Tyrone Tracy, 3 carries, 9 yards. And then Montreal Washington had 1 for 3. Jonathan Ward, 2 carries for 3 yards. I don't even know why the hell he wasn't out there, to be very frank with you guys. I thought he should have kept Turbo out there and give him a little more chance to shine. Obviously, I still expect to see Turbo there in the second half of the game as well, but he's had a really nice start to the game there. And then, like I said, 2 for 3 for Singletary. Receiving wise, you got 3 catches, 60 yards for Montreal Washington. We talked about earlier this week. This kid's really pushing for a roster spot, and this is definitely helping solidify that. Dante Turbo Miller, 4 catches, 42 yards. Little Jordan Humphrey, 2 catches, 36 yards, including the touchdown. Now, he was targeted 4 times. That's one thing I do want to keep an eye on, because one of the issues they said with Little Jordan Humphrey when he's back over in Denver is he was not exactly producing for what he was getting look-wise on the field. So he's got a tendency to get open, got 4 targets, but he only had 2 catches there. So, again, it's small sample size. Don't want to blow anything out of proportion. Wan'Dale Robinson, the one target for a catch for 11 yards. Theo Johnson, 2 catches for 10 yards. Zach Pascal, 1 catch for 9. Tyrone Tracy Jr., 2 for 7. Now, the interesting thing at his was he almost fumbled the ball. Luckily, his knee was down, but that's something to keep an eye on. Obviously, he had fumble issues last year, so that was a little disheartening to see. Greg Dulcich, 2 catches for 7 yards. Daniel Bellinger had 1 catch for 0 yards, and Dalen Cambry and Devin Singletary both got targeted once each, but didn't get a catch out of it there. Let's go to the defensive side. Leading the Giants in touchdowns. And listen, I've always said this before. When your secondary is leading in touchdowns, that's not good. But that's what we got. Deonte Banks, 3 tackles. O'Donnell Fortune, 3 tackles, and he also gave up. Obviously, both of guys, I should say, gave up big plays in the second quarter, including O'Donnell Fortune setting them up, which would easily could have been a touchdown if it hadn't been so close to the end of the game. Paul Sadebo, 2 tackles. Raheem Lane, 2 tackles. Dane Belton, 2 tackles. So think about that, guys. The top 5 tacklers, all in the secondary. Of those guys, just 2 passes deflected there, and all but one of those tackles were solo tackles. So that tells you it's just all in catches there. They got Roy Robertson Harris with 2, and then he got Chris Board, Corey Durden, Greg Dulcich, Dante Miller, Drew Phillips, Micah McFadden, Trace Ford, Darius Muasau, Tyler Newman, and Abdul Carter, all with 1 tackle apiece. Listen, Abdul Carter is definitely one of those guys I think we're going to do a breakdown on later on to see how he did better. Again, unfortunately, they're showing on the national telecast here, the Lions version of it, which I'm not sure if the video is any different than what you guys see on the Giants side, though obviously they will talk more about the Giants and the Giants side than the nationally televised version that you're seeing here by the Bills. But Abdul Carter definitely is not a guy that I've heard his name called a lot. There is the one really good play that Abdul Carter had where he blew by Dawkins there, and people are definitely harping on that one there big time there. But we'll have to see how he looks overall. That's definitely not the the crazy showing that I think some people were expecting. He did have 2 pressures, according to Jordan Rondon here on Twitter/X here. So if that's what it is, that's not a bad start. If we're expecting to have 3 sacks or anything crazy like that, that's on us. But yeah, like I said, he's getting his first action there as well. Nothing crazy on the stat sheet yet for him there, but if he's getting a couple of pressures and he's doing something, doing good, he's definitely a big guy. I must probably try to rewatch if I can find something to rewatch his snaps, specifically focusing on him and seeing how he did. Now, as far as the Bills here, how they did, Mitchell Trubisky, good efficient wise, he's got 9 of 13, 138 yards, 10.6 yards per throw average there, yards per completion average. Sorry, 1 touchdown, 129.6 passer rating. But the tail of the tape does not show it. He's definitely done a lot of more checkdowns. He had a couple of big passes, and that's what really jacked up those numbers. Or else he had a day kind of like Russell Wilson had there as far as being efficient, but getting no yards to show for it. Ty Johnson, 3 carries for 26 yards. Ray Davis, 4 carries for 7 yards. That's a 4.7 yard per carry average the Giants are giving up on defense overall. That's one thing I want to really keep an eye on big time this preseason. The Giants' pass defense is not my concern. They got a good pass rush. They got a decent secondary now, hopefully. But the Giants' run defense has not looked good in training camp. And that has definitely passed over now, it looks like, to this first half of the preseason there. Especially Ty Johnson specifically, 3 carries, 26 yards, 8.7 yards per carry average. So that's definitely not so good. As we got another spammer here, guys. Oof, these spammers. Like I said, guys, going forward, I'm going to start doing these play-by-play episodes that we're going to do here with subscribers only being able to go ahead and comment on YouTube specifically, because that's where these spammer comments are coming from. So if you're on YouTube and you haven't already subscribed, guys, do me a favor, hit that subscribe so you don't run into issues going forward there in future once we do. The Bills receiving wise, Tyrell Shavers, 2 catches for 70 yards. Obviously, big help by that one we had, that 58-yard catch there that almost ended the the game there. Had the one kick for a field goal afterwards, and that's it. Joshua Palmer, 2 catches, 21 yards. And then Reggie Gillum, 119. Knox had 1 for 11. Dalton Kincaid, 1 for 10. And then Ray Davis, 1 for 7. Keon Coleman, 1 for no yards whatsoever. And then Christian Wilkerson and Zach Davidson each were targeted once, but didn't get a single reception out of it there. Game should be starting soon here, guys, just to give you a heads up as well, in case anybody needs a bathroom break or anything before that second half starts up there. On their defense, their leaders on defense for tackles, Cam Lewis with 5, Joe Anderson with 5, Tre'Davious White has 3, Dane Jackson and Keonta Jenkins and Matt Milano also with 3 as well. Taron Johnson, we saw get hurt during the game, 2. Dwayne Carter, 2. Jordan Hancock, 2. So, like I said, I don't think the Bills defense definitely can look at this as a positive game for them. That's for sure. Giants offense, like I said, has been able to score on a regular basis. The big issue has been we haven't been hitting touchdowns. We've been hitting field goals. So that's got to change definitely as we go. Again, obviously, much of this time has been with with Jaxson Dart in there. Just had that one series with Russell Wilson. So again, is that a thing with the rookie just kind of learning some stuff? Is that a concern overall? Time will tell, guys. I'd love to give you like the hot take answer, but time will tell. That's the truth of the matter there. But we're gonna have to take a look and see what happens there overall. But either way, like I said, I'm happy what I'm seeing with these Giants so far. No one's gotten hurt. Giants offense has looked efficient. Jaxson Dart has looked like an actual NFL quarterback. Russell Wilson didn't do much, but didn't embarrass himself. That's all. I'm not going to ask for crazy things on one drive from him. Turbo Miller has impressed, and that's been a big one for us. We've been a big fan of Turbo Miller all along. And then, of course, obviously, Montreal Washington putting his money where his mouth is there, but showing up decent here for us. And the guy, again, he got a lot of positive hype out of camp out of there. So, we'll see what happens in the second half. I got to think Jaxson Dart's day is done. I got to think that we're going to be seeing now third quarter, see Jameis Winston, then fourth quarter, see, Tommy DeVito, but we'll see. Stranger things have happened. Maybe the Giants do decide they want to go ahead and do a lot of time with Jaxson Dart. Again, we don't expect to see him much this regular season. We expect that's when the bubble wrap comes out there. Probably not going to see him till last couple of weeks of the season, if that. Again, depending how things go, obviously. If we look like crap, maybe they change their mind there all of a sudden. But it's going to be, like I said, it's going to be interesting to see how the rest of this preseason goes for Jaxson Dart. Because if he looks as good as he looked today, Russell Wilson is going to deal with some people calling for Jaxson Dart. That's going to be life, guys. That's going to be just the way it's going to be for him this season. As we got another spammer. Sheesh, let me just get rid of this guy real quick here. Spammers out in full force. This is worse than ever, guys. This is not, we did this last year. Didn't have nearly this problem. So I guess there's just more spammers on YouTube than ever. So again, guys, this is why next week we do the game. We're going to move the comments to subscribers only for YouTube, which is our preferred platinum for people. In case people are curious where we do prefer you to watch, YouTube is definitely the way we suggest. Like I said, because the spammers on there, I'm going to go ahead and make it where it's subscribers only for the next one there. All right. Looks like we're about to go ahead and do the kickoff here. You got Jude McAtomney, the former Rutgers kicker, is about to start us off here. So let me turn the volume back on so I can hear what's going on now the talking heads are done. All right. All right, I'm going to refresh it too real quick just to make sure I'm on the best I can be time-wise. There is a little bit of delay, obviously, with the streaming up. And yeah, 1st and 10 now. Before I refreshed it, it was actually about to go ahead and just do the kickoff. So, all right. So, first down over with. Sorry, like I said, we lost as we're refreshing, as we're getting to a better time frame here. We do have out for the Bills here. Mike White is going to be the quarterback. It is 2nd and 7. Got 3 yards. The Bills did on a quick rush up the middle. Evans was the running back for them. Mike White in the shotgun formation. Oh, nearly intercepted there. Ooh. DJ Moore. I say TJ Moore. I'm sorry. That's one of the undrafted rookie free agents also, Adam Mercer. And that was a really bad pass by Mike White there. That's a really bad. Now, some of you guys may remember Mike White. He was with the Jets there. It was a little bit of a Jeremy Lin situation because he had a really good game against the Bengals. It was again. Sorry, 3rd and 7. Shotgun formation again, and DJ Davidson gets the sack. So 3 and out for Buffalo, guys. Not a great way to start there. Now, what I'm looking for is I'm not seeing 51 at all again on this telecast, guys. So again, if you are blessed with getting the Giants telecast, not the Bills one, do feel free to give me a heads up. Anything that you're seeing as far as that different than what I see. But yeah, it's been a little quiet there with Carter so far. So a couple of hurries he did get credit for, according to Jordan Ronan, but they haven't been showing him much on the screen there. Punt return here coming. Slips a little again. Oof. That's D. Williams, the corner. Now, D. Williams is probably best known for the guy who comes out first for every practice. There is a flag also, and it looks like it's going to be a hold. I see Dulcich throwing his hands up. I'll find out who it was. But again, D. Williams has been that guy. He's been out first guy every single practice, basically, since the very first one. So I should take that back. The first one, he was not. Every practice since then, he's been. That was open to the public, that we were able to find that stuff like that. Credit to Bobby Skinner of Giants Nation is the one who points it out. They're still figuring it out. Again, preseason for the refs too, guys. Jameis Winston is coming out for this 3rd quarter, guys. They've said that on the telecast. So Jameis Winston. Double penalty. So that should offset. So it should be just business as usual, guys. They haven't announced it, though. Again, this has been sloppy announcing, sloppy refereeing to let everybody know what's going on. This has not been a good start for the NFL teams here. All right. So, holding on the receiving team, going into bounds on your own on the kicking team, penalties offset. Sloppiness. All right, guys. So here we go. Jameis Winston about to make his Giants debut. So D. Williams, the one called on being the guy going out of bounds, by the way. Again, he was the one who took that kick. So I take it back. They are actually going to go ahead and replay it. So 4th and 14, they're going to replay it. Like I said, they were not the best at letting people know what's going on. And it's both on the announcing booth or the refs themselves. So here we go. Decent punt, but he's going to have some room to get a couple yards back. D. Williams again gets tripped up, gets the ball to the 49 yards. So going to be about midfield there for the Giants to start. Not a bad position for Jameis Winston to go ahead and start his Giants career here. Like I said, that's kind of lost in the shuffle here. Russell Wilson obviously is a guy that we're all interested in seeing because of the fact that he's got obviously the name. Jaxson Dart, again, 1st round pick. You're curious to see how he's going to do as well. But, Jameis Winston, I'm excited to see him as well. He's a guy that last year, Rob and I were both calling for him to be the guy that they would pick up to back up Daniel Jones. Instead, obviously, they got Drew Lock. But Jameis Winston would have beat Daniel Jones point blank in camp. It's probably why the Giants didn't want to get him, to be honest with you. So, but yeah, like I said, I'm curious to see that. I still want to see some more Turbo, by the way, I guess. I want more Turbo Miller. He's been exciting to watch this game. Like I said, it kid's so fast and showing it off whenever he gets a chance. So, we'll have to see what happens there. But this is, like I said, a good first half the Giants had. Now defense comes out right off the gate, has a nice first drive to stop the Bills. Though, to be very frank, Mike White with a horrible pass that could have otherwise been a decent play for them. So it should have been an interception, if we're going to be honest here. Giants should have gotten an interception. But as usual, we can't turn around. That's an issue overall. I'm seeing in a lot of players. I want you guys to keep an eye as you watch that. Look for guys on defense that in coverage turning around. And that's something that they've been talking about pushing nonstop with this team. Like Shane Bowen was talking about the treasure turnover chest and all that kind of stuff. Putting a pirate chest in the sidelines and all that kind of stuff. This has been an issue. I'm not seeing a ton of guys turning their heads still. And that's a little disappointing when you have, that's been something that's been harped on nonstop by the Giants this entire offseason. So, it's definitely not something I want to see, that's for sure. So, hopefully that changes. Again, it's still early on in this preseason, obviously, but not a good start, that's for sure, for the Giants secondary, considering what we're having expectation-wise, that's for sure. So, let's see. More and more commercials. This thing, so many commercials, guys. Whew. It keeps showing that Hard Knocks. I haven't watched any Hard Knocks. I don't know about you guys. I don't watch Hard Knocks really. I watched it last year because the Giants were on it, and I'll watch the one they throw in December. We'll probably do, like reaction shows to that and that kind of stuff there too as well when that happens. But overall, I'm good. I got enough drama with the Giants. I don't need to watch other teams' dramas. It was nice seeing behind the scenes, though. That, be honest, didn't work out in our favor. That's for sure, because Joe Shane looked kind of dumb for the comments he made about Barkley the whole entire first couple of episodes. That's for sure. But overall, I as a Giant fan, I thought it was interesting, especially because what they did, showing us behind the scenes in free agency, the draft, and stuff like they didn't usually do, but. This will be different. So the one that we're going to have this year, just so in case people aren't aware, actually, we'll go back to the action here because we got 1st and 10 here. Jameis Winston about to take his first snap as a Giant. Throwing the ball, gets batted at the line. So we got 2nd and 10. But yeah, those who might have missed what's going to happen this year is December, they're going to do a Hard Knocks NFC East edition. So it's not going to be the Giants. It's going to be the Giants, the Cowboys, the Eagles, and the Commanders, and it's going to go back and forth. Kind of like they did with, I think it was the AFC North, if I remember right, last year. Again, I don't watch Hard Knock if the Giants aren't in it typically. Watched episodes before, but not like religiously. 2nd down, under center here, and handed the ball off. Looks like Turbo Miller based on the hair. Yep, it is Turbo Miller. So 3rd down, got a couple yards, nothing too crazy. Be nice if they stop interviewing Bills players so we can see more of what the actual game. This is part of the frustration. I think the NFL needs to recognize this is part of the frustration with fans. Like, you want us to watch the game, but you don't show us the damn game. You keep showing players that aren't playing, like Josh Allen they're going through right now. He's not in the game. Put the damn game on. 3rd and 7. Ball about the 49-yard line. So just past midfield. Let's see here. Ball getting snapped. There we go. Got some pressure. Winston throwing it. And that Gunnar Olszewski on offense there. Guy usually is a punt returner only. Hasn't had an NFL reception in years. I want to see a replay because I want to see how close it was to catching it. But that was a target, not a catch. Definitely under some pressure for Jameis Winston. So we'll have to see. But it looks like a first 3 and out for the Giants here. We got 4th and 7. I can't imagine the Giants will go for it from midfield in the 3rd quarter. That'd be kind of crazy. Here we go. Yep. And they are punting. There's Jamie Gillen going. It's like a decent punt here. See where they spot it. Probably about the 11, 12. Oh, another standing one out of bounds about the 16. 16, 17, right around that mark there. So it went out a little quicker than I thought there. Still, it's a punt within the 20. That's one of there's a staff for a reason on that, because if keep in mind, if you do a touchback, it goes to the 20. So anytime you get a less than the 20, you're doing pretty good. So you're setting up the Bills and Mike White with the 2nd drive there for Mike White as a bad position to start there. And again, guys, this time we're going to try to focus on seeing if we can find Abdul Carter each play to see what he does there, assuming he's still out there. Again, we unfortunately Bills haven't done very good in focusing on that. I cannot trash the Bills enough for their coverage this game. Like, I would think even as a Bills fan, and correct me if I'm wrong, guys. Like, I would think even as a Bills fan that you'd want to know what's going on with Abdul Carter. You know, not because you're a Bills fan, obviously, but you're a football fan. He's potentially the best player in this entire draft that just happened this year. Like, there's been the conversation between him and Travis Hunter, basically. So he's one or two. Either way, there should be hype by most, I think, football fans as a whole of what he's doing, what he's up to. And for whatever reason, like I said, there's telecast just totally ignoring him entirely. So definitely a bit annoying, that's for damn sure. But not as annoying as the offensive line for the Giants playing like crap again today. But that's part of it. Again, we've said this. Without Andrew Thomas, this line is just not the same. And, now Andrew Thomas is out, so you had Hudson in there. Now we're playing backups, and Hudson is technically a starter. So you're only going like third-string tackles now. And said it's not going well. That's for sure. Definitely think it's one of those games to deep dive later on, though, because we got a lot of rookies I'm curious about. Beyond Carter and Jaxson, I'm curious how Marcus Bowe does. I know I've seen him out there, but again, when you're trying to watch a game live, it's hard to pinpoint a particular player, especially on the offensive line. But he's the guy I'm curious to see. Fedoni's already been out there as well. So I want to see him as far as how he's doing blocking-wise, how he's even if he is not doing catches and stuff, I want to see, is he getting open? Is he just not getting the ball? I want to see these kind of things here. So this is one of those games that I'll probably have to watch 2-3 times. But the nice thing is, again, watching it after the fact is so much better because all these commercials are gone. Watch the whole goddamn thing in half an hour. It's ridiculous how many commercials are in an NFL game, guys. Absolutely ridiculous. All right. Let's get back to it there. And there we go. We got back to, for some reason, they're showing little kids that are now dressed up in Bills gear. Guess they're showing stories of child abuse now. Guy in a big old foam chicken wing hat. Is that like the cheesehead version of Buffalo, I guess? Let's see. So it's 12-19 left in the third quarter, by the way, guys. Like I said, both teams had quick drives there. So not much time taken off the clock, obviously. They're setting up for it now. All right. Here we go. They're in huddle, giving the player now. So again, 1st and 10 as the Bills are taking over here. Again, Mike White in there as the quarterback right now for the Bills. Still trying to see what's going on as far as Abdul Carter. Again, I'm not seeing much. And pass dropped by Hawes. That was a bad situation for them, that's for sure. Here's that 5th round pick out of the draft out of Georgia Tech. By the way, you guys see Georgia Tech went like 7-6, and they gave them, and they lost their bowl game, and they're giving them rings. Rings. Horrible. All right, 2nd and 10, guys. And it looks like they're going to run. Oh, Giants again cannot stop the run. Giving up like an 11-yard run at that point to Frank Gore Jr. Yes, Frank Gore Jr., the son of the legendary Frank Gore. Yeah, not good. Again, just this has been an issue. Again, Giants cannot, for some reason, pass block. I say run block. Run stop. I don't know what the problem is. Like, this was supposed to be something they focused on this offseason. 1st and 10, guys. Ball's about the 32-yard line now for the Bills after that run. So still way far away from scoring, but another missed tackle. The 3rd tackle finally gets them. A lot of missed tackles, guys. A lot of missed tackles. Here we go. Let's see. We should have had him in the backfield even. 2 guys that could have got him. Trying to see who they're showing us so quickly. 31 is one of the missed tackles. I'm going to call him out when I see him. That's Nick Jones, the corner at a Ball State. Couldn't see it was in the defensive line. It could have got in the backfield, but they missed him as well. So 2nd and 5, guys. And fakes the handoff. Mike White. Oh, wow. Zach Davidson drops wide open pass. Would have been a first down. It's the second wide open one. Oh, here we go. That's just, oh. And the funny thing is that they're even saying on the telecast, the two guys who just dropped it are both vying for that 3rd touchdown spot. That's crazy. All right. 3rd and 5, guys. And if this ends, this is point blank ending because the Bills have been horrible at catching the ball. Not even on the Giants. The Giants defense looked bad this drive so far. 3rd and 5. Here we go. Didn't, bad pass. So looking for Shavers again, who's been pretty good. Obviously, this whole game, he's probably been the star for the Bills here. There, D. Williams, the corner, seeing I mentioned before, was the returning the punt on that coverage, but not a good pass. That's just funny though. What the 3rd down they had was the worst pass he had, but there's no reason they should have been in that position. This drive ended point blank because the backup tight end to the Bills could not catch the damn ball. Wow. Really deep punt. Williams does take it still for some reason around the 9-yard line and makes the tackle around the 9-yard line. Giants potentially starting in a really bad position here. There is a flag on the field, so we'll have to see what happens there. But that was a dumb. They should just let the punt go and see if it goes to the back. Oh, hold on top of that. They said 54. That's Deontay Johnson. Who also slipped on a play last drive when the Bills were going there too. So yeah, so 16-10, 10 minutes, 36 seconds left to go in the 3rd quarter here. But yeah, not a good way to start. That's for damn sure. We had a 3 and out. We were at midfield. Now we're going to be at the 9-yard line. Actually, even worse because you got the penalty, like the 5-yard line. Ugh. Not good. Not good. Well, listen, Jameis is known for deep throws. He's known for big bombs, so he's going to have his chance here. He's going to have his chance for a big bomb. We'll see if he actually does it. He's got a 50-50 shot to which team he throws to. That's the problem, though. But, yeah, Giants backup defense, guys, not looking good at all. That's 2 drives in a row. Yeah. Not been very impressed, that's for damn sure. So we'll have to see what happens. Solving the race problem. What's up, Ben? It says, I'm glad we're all back to reality. Abdul Carter. He's not a jump off the screen difference maker. Not yet, at least. We'll see. But yeah, like I said, I'm not seeing a lot of him. Let me know, man, if you happen to be able to get the Giants telecast version of it, where they might show you a little more on that there. But again, I'm hearing from Jordan Ronan on Twitter, he's saying two hurries, but 1 tackle. I mean, I'm not seeing anything crazy on him. That's for sure. Let me see if there's anything new on him. Let's see here. Yes. So NFL Preem is saying, and again, I haven't seen the stats on hurries yet. They're saying 3 pass rush snaps, 3 quarterback hurries on Abdul Carter. But again, we're not seeing much. Again, the Bills are not doing a very good job of helping Giants fans know what's going on. He says also the linebacker play, Muasau specifically, has been awful. He always seems to be lost in the field. This is the problem, though. Again, this kid was a 6th-round pick, and the Giants keep acting like he's going to be a great player. I mean, it's not likely. Not impossible. Don't get me wrong. Not likely. Jameis Winston starting deep, and it's going to be a run. Turbo Miller going to get about a half a yard. And honestly, that's not where you want Turbo Miller to be in. I've been saying I was hoping for, a lot more Miller. Miller should not be the one you're doing deep. He's not. That's not what he is. He's not that guy. He's the speed guy. He's the change of pace guy. He's the guy you bring in for a big outside run or a screen pass. He's not the running up the gut for yardage guy. So Not the right time to use him, that's for sure. As we get another spammer, I think we're running the record for spammers here on this stream here. Jameis Winston on 2nd and 9. Dalen Cambry. Oh no, sorry, Gunnar Olszewski. Getting the scrub numbers messed up. That's probably his first catch in 30 years. I mean, it's like probably the only catch we'll see him do all year long. Okay, let's see here. Just about got that last spammer out here. Nice thing is hopefully they'll be banned from the future too. So solve the range problems is as of right now, objectively, who looks like they have a better command over the offense and ready to start week 1 if necessary? Dart or Shador? It's hard to say because again, I'm not going to act like I watched the preseason game for the Browns. Smith Marset, by the way, gets the catch on 3rd and 6, but only gets a 5-yard catch. Typical Giants. 3rd and 6. Let's do a 5-yard route. That'll help. So, obviously I'm not blaming that all on, Smith Marset. That's where the ball was thrown, but that's been a consistent problem for many, many years for the Giants. Anyway, like I said, I'm not going to sit there and say anything crazy on Shador. I didn't watch that game. But obviously good numbers, got a couple touchdowns. Dart also, though, looked very good as well today. So I'll just say both of them had a good start to their career. That's all I'll say. That's simple. Let's see. Saw the range problem. Also, his turbo looked pretty good though. I ideally like to take him to take all of Singletary's carries. Again, I've said all along, I think he should definitely be ahead of Gray. I think him and Singletary is where it's going to be at. Is the potential problem. Like, do you keep him as a special team returner? He did do it in college. He hasn't done it yet in the NFL. I honestly, I'd love to see him do that. I'd love to see this at some point this preseason. That's what they do with him. But we'll have to see what they do. I mean, we don't know. We have no clue. They get kind of hush hush as they should be. So. All right, so back to commercials, guys. Let's see here. Sorry, getting a voicemail from work while I'm here doing this. My day off. All right, so back to the Giants defense here. This is going to be something I'm kind of concerned with. Like I said, the way this backup defense has played so far. We'll have to see overall, but I'm kind of curious to see, can they kind of get things back together? Let's see. He says, outside of James Hudson, who stinks, what do you think of the offensive line play? But a lot of bad passes, guys. I wouldn't say they've been undoable and that horrendous, that's for sure. But I definitely can't sit there and say that I've been impressed by the offensive line either. Obviously, though, again, James Hudson and Andrew Thomas is a big difference, guys. They're talking night and day. And that's even bigger probably than the Daniel Jones, Russell Wilson difference there. It's a big difference. So we'll have to see what happens overall. Hopefully we get him back, Andrew Thomas, and then we don't have the issues with James Hudson. But James Hudson, that first drive looked bad, guys. Really bad. Couple penalties. Obviously also had Joey Bosa that he was going against, which is a decent player. So, he's not going to go against a Bosa every single week, obviously. But yeah, not impressed, that's for sure. All right. Let's see. They're cutting back here to the action. Let's get back to the game. Instead, the Bills keep just showing us the back of a fan. That's literally what's on the telecast right now, the back of a fan. Somebody went to art school, apparently. Oh, let's get the shot from the back of the fan. It looks really cool. All right. Get off the Bills schedule, guys. Come on. I swear that people at the Bills telecast have no ability to recognize you're on national telecast as well. All right. So Bills start at about the 45-yard line here. Mike White. Hey, had a tight end catch. So he's at the 40-yard line. So we got 2nd and 5 there. So let's see. 2nd and 5, double tight end set they're going into. So you got to imagine there's probably a potential run here. Both tight ends are moving off to the right-hand side too as well. So watch the right side for a run potential. Nope, now we got motion. But one of that second tight end's winding up as a fullback. And there's a run to the right side, just like I said. 1 yard. Listen, guys, if I can see, you don't think the Giants could have seen it? So, all righty. 3rd and 4 we got now. Let's see if the Giants can do something here. Be nice after the last couple of drives not looking so good to get out of here with a nice 3 and out. All right. Third and 4. Shotgun formation from Mike White. We know he's not afraid to throw deep. And there he goes. Throws it incomplete. Not a great pass. Going for Davidson. And quite frankly, the tight end made no effort even to catch the damn thing. Put your hands up. Try to run for it. Try to do something. I hate when I see that on a player in general. 4th and 4. It does look like the Bills are staying out there. Crazy thing is that the Bills score a touchdown here. You realize as much better as the Giants have looked in the Bills so far. If they score a touchdown here, it's not likely, but it's possible. They're going to go ahead and actually get the lead. Field goals difference. All right, so we got 4th and 4. Mike White shotgun position, rolling out of the pocket, wide open deep. First, it's going to be a touchdown. As I said, that I jinxed us. God damn it. KJ Hamler wide open. Nobody was covering him whatsoever. Oh my God. 39-yard touchdown, guys. That is bad. I want to see the replay on this so I can see who to blame on that, because goddamn, that was bad. There we go. Let's see. $31. Looks like Nick Jones. But yeah, there was definitely issues with that play. Did he make it? Oh, barely made that extra point. I was hoping. Give us at least a tie game. But yeah, Bills are up now for the first time in the game, guys. Up by 1 point in the 3rd quarter. 7 minutes left. A lot more can happen, obviously. And again, it doesn't matter. This is like whose lines anyway. The points don't matter, and no one cares who wins. But Giants were sitting secondary, definitely in a blitz package there. Left Nick Jones on him specifically with no coverage. Yeah. No secondary help whatsoever because you're putting people in the pass rush. Yeah, that's not. Yeah. Solve the race problem says, is that the same guy who let up the big play before halftime? I couldn't tell. No, that was O'Donnell Fortune, the undrafted rookie free agent out of South Carolina, who had done that. This play, like I said, is Nick Jones, the corner out of Ball State. So different player there, but same problem. Guys getting burnt. You know, just frustrating as all hell. Luckily, it's a preseason game. It's frustrating me, but it doesn't really matter. It's preseason. So, we'll have to see what happens here. But that's now you got some pressure on DeVito and Winston here to finish the game out and lead us back to a win. Instead, it was just hold the lead, but now it's time. Got to do something. Just don't get healthy. Don't get hurt in the process. Stay healthy. That's always the goal, guys. That's the biggest goal of all. Stay healthy. All right. 7 minutes, 11 seconds left in the 3rd. Kickoff is there. Really short kick. Miller's got it. There he is. We said about Turbo Miller. Look at this kid. Oh, my gosh. Got it down to about the 33-yard line. Big hit he took from Carlo. Oh, Charlo, sorry. Jimmy Charlo just signed on Wednesday, apparently, linebacker. But look at Turbo. Got right back up again, though. Right back up. That was Lane on the bad block. Raheem Lane, the backup safety. Solving race problems. These snaps do matter. Honestly, none of our CBs played well. Debo was getting beat by backups too. Yeah, like I said, I'm not too impressed with how the secondary is done overall. But Jameis Winston's still in there. Said I think you're to see the whole third quarter basically. Screened to Ward. He's got some blockers. We got it. We got a nice one here into Buffalo territory. Brought down about the 45-yard line. Oh, they're saying 47. He put his knee down. Okay. There we go. We're definitely in the backup of backups, though. You see Felton, you see Cambry, you see all kinds of players that are definitely towards the bottom. We're definitely Josh Azudu, Aaron Stinney. Trying to let you guys know who I see as I see him, so you know who's out there because the telecast sure as hell ain't doing it. Austin Schlottman in there looks like probably at center. He's usually a center. Yep. Okay. Yep. He's the center. First and 10. Here we go. Winston about to air it out. Go for it. Oh, incomplete. Let's say I want to see a replay of that because it looks like they're asking for a flag. That was Dalen Cambry looking for a flag on that, but they're not showing it so far. Let's see. They're too busy talking about Sean McDermott to actually show a replay of this horrible telecast. This is why we keep saying use content creators. About 2-3 yards here. That's it on a run from Ward. Really nowhere to go. There was no hole there. I can't even blame the running back for that. There was no hole. So we go to 3rd and 9, guys. 3rd and 9. And this offense is definitely stagnant in the second half so far. So it'd be nice for a big play. That's not necessarily to put that all on Winston, who's obviously been the quarterback for that time period. There's more changes than just him. But 3rd and 9, guys. About the 45-yard line. Winston going for it. And he's going to throw a short to Miller. Miller's going to turn for it. There he goes. First down. Marcus Ingram gets him down eventually, but first down. Like I say, guys, how many big plays has Turbo Miller made in this? Again, I know it's preseason. I know he's playing backups. We got to figure out a spot for this kid. Got to figure out a spot for this kid. Keep in mind, last year he hadn't played football in a year and a half plus. So he got kind of a red shirt year with the Giants. This is the year. He's been impressive. Let's see here. Jesus, how you feeling, Drew? I'm feeling fine. See, 1st and 10 here. I'll get to your question in a second. Jameis Winston moving around deep. And yeah, nobody even there. He's just chucking the ball, basically trying to get rid of it there. But Shefke was the guy closest to it. Solving the race problems, thoughts on tight end play. Theo was underwhelming. Too small of a sample. Too small. But he had a couple catches. So like I said, I'm not gonna change any of my opinions on any players like that off of a couple drives on offense in a preseason game. I think in the end, Theo Johnson will be just fine. He's never going to be, I don't think, an all-pro or a Pro Bowl guy or anything like that. He's going to be a decent guy, though. They're calling intentional grounding on Jameis Winston, by the way, guys. Wow. 10-yard penalty on that, then. Lost it down, which you expected, obviously, or else what's the penalty for? That's a little crazy. So 2nd and 20, guys. 2nd and 20. Shotgun formation. Looks like Turbo Miller is a single back set there. He is. Winston throwing it. Interception. And there is a flag in the play. We'll see if it comes back at that point. Hancock with the flag. Taken down, it looks like, by Aaron Stinney. They're calling it offsides in the announcements. We'll see. Yep, offsides. So it's basically a free play. So there goes that interception there because of that. Landon Jaxson, the edge rusher. That's a rookie edge rusher there. Here we go. You're gonna replay it right now so we can see. Oh yeah, he is definitely off. I thought they would replay the actual pass. I want to see a little better on that too. All righty. Let's see. 2nd and 15 now, guys. Shotgun, empty back set. Is that Gunner? Yep, Gunner Olszewski gets the pass. So 3rd down here, guys. It's 3rd and 8. It's going to be. So at least it's somewhat manageable compared to what it could have been. He got half it on the 2nd down. Again, we said this is what you got to do on these larger 2nd and longs and stuff like that. Just get some yards, make it a manageable 3rd. It's manageable-ish. Whole lot better than 3rd and 15. So, all right, ball's about the 32-yard line, by the way, too. 3rd and 8. Here we go. Turbo is out there. Turbo's doing good on. Oh, there we go. Nice catch. Olszewski again. This is the most work Olszewski's got on offense in years. But I was saying before, Turbo Miller again. I'm not trying to be too redundant on Turbo here, but I'm watching him specifically in pass pro. The reason I'm doing that though is not just because I'm a fan of Turbo. It's because if you look, that's the issue with Tyrone Tracy has had last year. Young running backs often have problems that in general. People have been talking about whether or not Scattaboo can do it. You're seeing Turbo do it in this game. A delayed handoff to Turbo Miller. Can be 1 yard back here. Almost got out of the tackle there. Jimmy Charlo was undrafted. I was undrafted, untouched, went right into the backfield. But almost got out of it there. And he would have got a couple yards probably, at least at that point. Oh, we got another spammer. All right. 2nd and 11, guys. Back to Turbo. Turbo's got about 4 or 5 yards. Oh, I think I deleted one of your comments there, solving the race problem by accident. Sorry. Trying to get rid of the spammers. Spammers are nonstop. Okay, guys. Next time we do this with the live stuff, there's another one. Next time we do it, it's going to be subscribers only on YouTube to avoid this issue. I hate to do because I don't feel like should have to tell people they have to subscribe to be part of the show. But unfortunately, this is what we're dealing with now. All right. 3rd and 7, guys. Shotgun formation. Jameis Winston moving around. He's going to run for it. He's got it. He's got it there. Got to get about the 6 yard line there. One of the defenders tripped actually for the for the Bills there, and that really opened up the space there for him. Good by Winston. And he made it look like he might run right. I was run right past still, right until he couldn't. So good job for Jameis. So 1st and goal, guys. Let's see what we got here. Shotgun formation, single back set. It looks like Turbo based in the hair, but can't say 100%. Winston, touchdown. Gunnar Olszewski. Nice quick slant route there. And a weird slant. It's not quite a full-on slant, just a slight one there. They're going to go for 2, they're saying, on the telecast. Because they are down by 5 now. All right, so up by 5, I'm sorry. So that'll bring them up by 7 in that case. So the Giants retake the lead. Because either way, they're up by 5. They're up by more than a field goal. If they go for 2 and get 24 at that point, now it puts them up by a full touchdown. 2 point. This has been an issue last year for the Giants. Plenty of time for Winston. That's moving around. Oh, did he get it? Thomas Fedone, the rookie, gets the 2nd round catch and like literally had to rip it out of the defender's hands. Basically, they both went for it at the same time. That was good. That was good. And listen, guys, that was a big issue last year for us. Again, the second 2-point conversion there. How many times do you see those just crap? Remember the one against the Steelers where they like lined everybody up on the left side and they kept like the center and the quarterback and that's it? Like, oh my gosh, that was good. Salvador Response says Jameis Vick. I wouldn't go that far, but he did good. He did good. So good job for backups there, led by Jameis Winston getting the touchdown, putting the Giants back into the lead there at that point, guys. Love to see it. Love to see it. Real quick, as we're going to the looks like probably another commercial break here in a second, potentially. Just want to remind everybody, we will have a post-game show that'll be live as soon as the game itself is over. That again, I will be having on the on a different video because we're going to use that for the podcast as well. So if you're on YouTube, it'll automatically reroute you and say, here, this is the next one to watch. But if you're not, just heads up, just go back to the page and it'll show up there. We will probably take just like a 5-minute break, not even in between though, just so I get just a second there to go maybe grab another drink or something here. But we are 1 minute, 11 seconds left in the third quarter here as the kickoff is going on. So it looks like about the 27-yard line is where the Bills are going to set up here to start here. And again, appreciate all that are subscribing, by the way, as well. I'm going to give a shout out to you guys as well. We've gained definitely a few subscribers during this telecast here. Much appreciated, guys. Definitely helps. Also, though, feel free to tell a friend about the show. Hit the like button, the thumbs up if you're on YouTube, or share it if you're on Twitter. There at that point, definitely was what gets things rolling there. Definitely helps get a lot of traction for the show beyond just our play-by-play. So appreciate it. Mike White's still out there, about to throw deep there on first down, and wide open. Christian Wilkerson again. Backup secondary has been an issue. Solid Rage Problem says, is that a nacho jersey you're wearing? No, this is an old school JPP. I went back to the JPP days. Back to when we had a pass rush that nobody could beat, basically. And I was hoping we see some of that again today. Hoping. We'll see. Again, you got to keep in mind the preseason, they don't show all their best moves and stuff like that. They save that for the regular season. So I'm not going to get negative when I say it that way, but it's really my banner says Bill instead of Bills. So I'm going to change that real quick here. Get that changed up so it says right. Get proper spelling. That's the end of the third quarter, by the way, guys. There we go. So, yeah, like I said, we'll see here what happens if the Giants can go ahead and hold on to the lead. That's for sure. What the heck is going on here? We got some spammer now. What is this hoopla here? I don't know what the hell's going on here. We're banned. He's banned. Don't you worry. We're banning the spammers. We're banning the conspiracy theorists. This guy needs to apparently enjoy a foil hat, some kind. But yeah, guys, like I said, we're gonna see. Can the Giants go ahead and hold on to the lead? It's fourth quarter. Also, do we see Tommy DeVito going forward? That'd be kind of an interesting thing here. DeVito is basically on audition for the NFL at this point, because I don't think there's a shot in hell the Giants keep 4 quarterbacks on the roster. Obviously, that'd be insanity. Barring any kind of injury, obviously, Russell Wilson's going to be the starter. Jameis will be the backup. Jaxson Dart will go ahead and be the third quarterback. I think they just gave Darth the chance to be the second quarterback today. Makes me kind of question that to a certain degree, but I can't imagine they're going to throw Dart before he's ready. That would put Tommy DeVito to the practice squad. And I'm not so sure he makes it on there at that point. There'd be some team that might see a, potential to pick him up and be a decent backup for them. I don't know. He's obviously been a good story for the Giants. Was probably the darling, so to speak, of the 2023 season. They started with the hand motions and all that. But honestly, he knows the offense is probably the best thing you can say about him. I can't sit there and say that DeVito is some great player that, oh my God, if we lose DeVito. So, but I just hope they do right by him and give him the chance to go ahead and audition, so to speak, here for the rest of the NFL, because that's what he's doing. We don't need more time with Jameis Winston. We know what Jameis Winston is. He's a good backup. That's what he is. And he's on a 2-year deal, so they'll keep him no matter what, because he's a good cheap backup for the Giants to have next year when Dart is the starter for the full season, assuming things go as we expect. So interesting. There you go. It's the Bills. I hate the Bills the way they're doing this whole thing here, but they're showing all the wedding pictures of Josh Allen, but they're showing in the process the University of Wyoming is apparently the sponsor now for the show, and of course he is the most famous Josh Allen, most famous guy probably from the University of Wyoming there. Talk about Madden ratings. Who cares? Let's get to the game. Come on. So 15 minutes left to go. All righty. 2nd and 10. Mike White's still out there, by the way. Throwing it deep. Wide open again. This secondary is bad. Deontay Johnson is out there with him. Also got KJ Cloyd as well. Yeah. So 2 linebackers. Neither one of them went anywhere near him. Definitely not good. And back to interviews with more Bill players. Oh my God, this telecast like unwatchable practically. Which is all the reason why you should be on the 2 Giant Goofball page. So at least we can talk about Giants, not all Bills. Under center here, 3rd and 2 now for the Bills. Fakes the handoff and then tosses it right to the, oh my God, wide open. Can we block somebody? Can we cover anybody? Like seriously, that was Frank Gore Jr. wide open, basically 100% ignored by the defense after the fake handoff. Absolutely insanity. We're looking for a red flag in this whole scenario right now. The biggest red flag right now is the lack of coverage abilities. People are wide the hell open this whole entire second half. And I know that they're backups, but considering the Giants' issues with injuries, that's a red flag right now. Mike White, all the time in the world to throw. Frank Gore, again, unguarded, is going to go ahead and get 9 yards, almost 10, depending where they spot the ball. 9 yards. Bad coverage, guys. Again, bad coverage. Like we talked before about, Joe Shane's going to scour the waiver wire. It might be time to scour some secondary players based on how this second half is going. Like this has been very, very disappointing. But again, keep in mind, a lot of the people you're seeing right now should not make the roster. But even the guys that should earlier on did not look good. Running the ball in 2nd and 1. Frank Gore Jr. going to go ahead and easily get it. Looks like about 4 yards on it. This has been way too much movement here for the Bills here in the second half. Let's see. 1st and 10. Look how much. I don't know if you guys are watching the national telecast, but it's like so much movement. It's not even funny. It's like that's what they're doing the entire time, where they're trying to show Brandon Beane, the GM for the Bills. It's like when my camera on a YouTube video is less shaky, that's an issue. White over the middle. Evans being covered by Deontay Johnson, who has not looked good, guys, today, by the way. They're 2nd down. They're at the 7-yard line now. So we asked the question before, can the Giants hold on to the lead? That is becoming definitely in question right now, guys. Definitely very much in question. Find out here. 2nd and 3. Shotgun formation. White again passing it. Oh, Evans wide open. Wow. This was like playing when there's no opponent base the entire. There was like nobody covering any of these players the whole entire goddamn drive. Like really bad, guys. I'm trying to see who's even out there, but again, they're focused so much on the Bills because it's the Bills telecast. Technically, Bills are going to go for 2, by the way, too. Whew. Nobody on him. Gets to the arm tackle. Said very, very bad drive for the Giants here. Going for 2 points as the Giants are now only up by 1 point. So we'll see if they can hold on to the lead. Here we go. Shotgun formation because, of course, they're going to pass it. The Giants haven't been able to go ahead and stop the pass right now. White got it immediately. Coverage again. D. Williams does not turn around. Can we get one goddamn guy in the secondary turnaround? Watch, here's the replay right now for those you watching on the telecast. The entire time, staring down the receiver, never turns. Absolute horrible coverage, guys. And you can sit there and say, oh, well, these guys aren't going to make the team. Who cares? You're right on that to a certain degree. But here's the problem is you can say they're not going to make the roster. Who cares? But the guys they're playing right now aren't going to make the roster necessarily either. It's scrubs against scrubs. Our scrubs are that bad. They're just getting beat up right now, guys. Definitely not good right now. Definitely not good. As the Bills have retake the lead by 1 point there, thanks to that 2-point conversion. So Giants do get the ball back. Obviously, we'll see what happens. Again, I'm hoping for DeVito's sake, he's the guy out there. I hope if you actually care about winning the game that Winston stays out there, but don't put Winston out there to win a preseason game. In the end, it doesn't matter that much. But like I said, I'm not even upset we're losing right now. I'm upset with how the secondary looks. It's been bad. Like that's an issue right now. We got to figure out how to get some better secondary guys in here. Like when this preseason is over, they got to scour the waiver wire. Maybe bring some bodies in because the bodies we got ain't cutting it. So, nice thing is though, we get the ball back. We scored a touchdown last time. Maybe we can score another one. Go ahead and take the lead back again. We'll find out. We will find out. So try to hang my hat though. At least the fact we got a touchdown last time. We got a 2-point conversion. What's the last 2-point conversion the Giants have gotten? It feels like we'd never get them. So horrible that last year. So, as for some reason they're playing the same exact flag football commercial over and over again during this entire telecast. They literally play the same commercial back to back. Now they're showing more highlights of old games from the Bills because, again, God forbid they show anything Giants related on a nationally televised telecast. I get it. It's the Bills crew doing this, but still, it's ridiculous. The biggest problem with having these, with having these games like this, don't do it nationally televised and have it be so one-sided. It means half the people watching aren't going to enjoy it. All right, kick it off here. Going to be received around the 1-yard line. We're going to get, Montreal Washington just got catapulted to the ground here. Interesting. I just saw Deonte Banks on that kickoff return team too. Talk about the difference now. This team's looking at him here. There he is. You see him in there. Unless there's a second 2, because I didn't see the back of the jersey. You know what? Juice Wells Jr. is actually number 2 as well, guys. So cross that out. I may be wrong on that. All right, let's see what we got here. DeVito is out there, guys, by the way. Tommy DeVito. Quick route to Turbo. Turbo again. Turbo time. Guys, he's got to be like the offensive player of the game the way he's playing. Been really good. Where's he even at now? Let's see. Bills Giants box score. Let's take a look. But he's been really impressive on what he's done. So, all right. Injured player, by the way, but they're not even showing it because the Bills are too busy kissing the butt of the GM. Let's see. So, Turbo, 5 carries, 52 yards. Oh, sorry, 5 catches, 52 yards, 8 carries, 20 yards. So the yards per carry definitely not been good as far as carrying wise, but he has been explosive when he gets the ball in his hands there on these short routes. So maybe he's a third down back. Maybe that's the role for him. There's got to be a role. You see the speed, you see the ability. There's got to be a role for him. So, and I got to even see if they're actually even including that last catch on that too. Trying to refresh it now to see. Like I said, this telecast just not giving any information whatsoever. So it looks like it is because I don't see anything past that. So I'm also still not seeing on there. Let me see here. Making sure no additional stats are missing on Abdul Carter, but yeah, still just the one tackle there. It's assistant tackle even. So definitely not probably the welcome he wanted to have to the NFL, that's for sure. But again, rookie. People expecting him to blow up and be next Micah Parsons. I still think they're crazy. Too much to put on the kid. I've been saying that all along, by the way, not for just today. Too much. He needs some time. You can't expect rookies to go in and just absolutely blow it up. The potential is there to do it later on in his career, but most people don't blow up like that right off the bat. Take some time. So more of this flag football commercial. If I see one more of this flag football commercial, I swear, you have to mute the goddamn commercial. Absolutely ridiculous. Alrighty, guys. So Tommy DeVito, let's see what he can do. I still want to find out who the injured player is, by the way, too. That's how bad this telecast is. They're not even telling you who the injured player is. Let me see if anybody happens to have it here. Try to find it for you guys. It's bad when I have to get off the telecast to find out what's going on. They're not showing it on here. Problem is the people that are doing this, these websites and all are doing the same thing I'm doing, is watching the game. So they don't get it. They don't know. So yeah, instead of talking about the injury, they are still too busy kissing Bean's butt over there at Buffalo. This is why teams should not be in control of these things. By the way, and the camera's still going like this. Like, absolutely ridiculous. Can we not figure out a way to get a TV camera up there without having it shake like crazy? They still didn't say anything about the injury, by the way. They're 1st and 10, though, for the Giants. Tommy DeVito back there again. Back there to Ward, but it got dropped. Again, Ward's only out there because of all the injuries, so don't worry too much about that. He'll probably be back to working at the local Piggly Wiggly in a few weeks. But DeVito had the shot on right, that's for sure. The pass was where it needed to be. It was a little bit off, but it was catchable. All right. 2nd and 10, guys. DeVito back on out there again. Turbo, again, what did I say? That's like 11, 12 yards right there. Can we finally admit that Turbo's good? Maybe Rob and I are right on that one. It's Turbo time. I need to get that Arnold Schwarzenegger's Turbo time thing going, apparently. So I get that sound effect going. Got too many sound effects in there, but I don't have that one.
The New York Giants!
Be a good one to get. All right, 1st and 10. DeVito going back to pass. Going to get a Turbo time. Oh my God, almost fell and still gets 5 yards on it. Oh no, it's Ward actually. I'm sorry. That was Ward. If it was turbo, it would have been 12 yards. Oh my gosh. 2nd and 6, guys. So 4 yards they gave him on that. But it was an impressive play by Ward, seriously, because he looked like he was about to fall. Turbo, by the way, up to 7 catches for 80 yards. You got the updated stats on him. Shotgun formation here on 2nd and 6 with DeVito out there. Going for the deep route. Gunnar Olszewski, he just catch that? Oh my God, almost did. That was close. That was close. Olszewski doing some stuff here as a wide receiver. Let's see. I'm gonna see that. Here's the replay. Nope, it hit the ground. That was good. Good. It hit the ground, but it was close. Not bad coverage on it. Olszewski get a good effort. It just happened to not quite get it to hit the ground. So 3rd and 6, guys. Let's see. Shotgun formation. Turbo Miller out there. That's something wrong. That just got thrown into a spot where you can tell somebody did not do something right. Either DeVito didn't throw it in the right area, or Olszewski was supposed to run a different route. Somebody made a bad mistake here. 4th and 6, and it looks like they're going to go for it. Looks like they are. I like it. Be a little ballsy. Go for it. But the big thing for me right now is get the ball out 6 yards. Do not throw it 3 yards. Unless you're doing a screen pass to Miller or something like that, because that's obviously been very effective. All right, here we go. Miller is out there. He is wide open, but Miller. Oh, there we go. Fedone gets the first down, and DeVito had all the time in the world. Kudos to the offensive line. Not something you hear very often watching a Giants game, but kudos to the Giants offensive line. He moved around a little bit there, but he had a lot of time, and Fedone was wide the hell open. So unfortunately, no chance for Yak because it was a little off on the throw because there was some pressure, but he was in there for so long. I'm not going to put that on the offensive line. It's just a good play. All right. 1st and 10, guys. We got the ball about the 27.5-yard line. Yeah, we're going halves here. Ball goes to Turbo. He's got nowhere to go, but gets a couple yards. So you get about 2.5, 3 yards. So 8:20 left in the game, guys. 2nd and 8. They're going to give him 2 yards in that. Okay. That's the one thing. He hasn't been a good runner, but catching. Oof. Said Turbo is making a case for a 3rd down back roll here potentially. Ward's back in the game though. Next to DeVito is in the shotgun formation. 2nd and 8. Fake handoff and then throws to him anyway, and he's going to get about another 2 yards. Gets a short pass there. That seems to be the Giants' forte right now is fake handoff and then throw it to the running back. So they keep showing the Buffalo Bills schedule. I don't care. I don't care. All right, let's see. We got 3rd and 6 here. Shotgun formation. Oh, I thought he was going to get hit, but instead he chucks it deep. Looked like he was looking for a flag. It was Juice there. Juice Wells Jr. with that. But yeah, nothing out of that there, but it is 4th and 6. We should be able to go for a field goal here, which would at least put us up by 2. They got McAtamney there, the backup kicker from Rutgers. Again, this kid we've said on the show many times, he's only on the roster because of the fact that he is an international player and does not take a spot then technically from another player. Here we go. Kick is good though. But yeah, just so people know I'm not just hating here. The kid literally lost his job at Rutgers. That's usually not a good sign for making in the NFL. But Giants back up on the lead here. So I'll take a lead. 27 points, by the way, guys. Remember we used to say the Giants never score 30. One more field goal over there. But we also got to keep in mind we've scored 2 touchdowns. That's it. So that's 4 field goals now. Again, I'm not going to sound an alarm on a preseason game, but that's not getting in the end zone is an issue. And it's something that hopefully will be rectified a little better there. But again, guys, not to beat a dead horse here, but we got a commercial break here on the game here. Just remind you guys again that we do record every Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Our usual Two Giant Goofball show. Preferred platform there, YouTube. Also live though on Facebook, Twitter/X, Twitch, and my LinkedIn profile. If you like audio podcasts, we do also put it up the next morning on audio as well on Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Pandora. We will be back again doing this next week as well with you guys here for the second preseason game. Just heads up on that we will be doing a subscriber only again for comments because of all the spam we're getting here on YouTube. People trying to show you bootleg links to the game and everything like that. Not anti people getting links and stuff like that. Just I can't guarantee those are good ones, so I'm not gonna have you guys potentially ruin your computer with some kind of weird virus because of some BS that came up on our show. So going forward, we're gonna do that. Again, guys, if you haven't already, hit that like though, hit that subscribe, hit the share, tell a friend about the show because point blank, we suck at marketing. Without you guys helping us, we are pretty much in trouble here. So trying to get to the back to the game here is to keep showing this stupid flag football. I feel like half the commercials I've seen this entire, and I don't know if it's just because I'm watching and streaming on NFL, but half the goddamn commercials have been this flag football thing. I'm just have no interest in seeing that whatsoever. Granted, there are people who want to, but not every 5 minutes. It's a little excessive. So. All right, let's see. Let's get back to the game. No more Marv Levy, and congrats to him getting 100 years old this past week here. That is pretty impressive there. All right, come on, guys, back to the game. Here we go. Kickoff's out of here. The Giants about to kick it off, and there'll be a touchback there, about 2 yards into the end zone. So, touchback by KJ Hamler. Now they got an interview with Tre'Davious White because just so sick of seeing Buffalo. Hopefully next week there's a little more evened out because I don't know what telecast I'm going to be able to get access to, but even if it's the Jets telecast, I would think the Jets one would still probably show a ton of Giants stuff as well, being they know that people New York, you know. They're only asking Tre'Davious White if he's going to be a water boy because he's handing out water bottles to his teammates. Like that's how bad the Buffalo's telecast is. 1st and 10, shotgun formation, going out to the running back. Some more sloppy tackling, gets about 5 yards. Sloppy tackling, poor coverage. The story of the second half here, guys. Again, this stands are empty, guys. Woo, insane. You would think they'd at least just like let people move down. Like I've been to baseball games, they let us do that before. They don't care. Move on down, basically. All right, ball's at about the 41-yard line. Quick handoff. Actually, Giants did the right now. Stop the run. Looks like Timon Fox on there. I couldn't see who the defensive lineman. There's a defensive lineman helping him too as well. Again, God forbid the telecast talks about the game. They're too busy asking Tre'Davious White if he's going to be a water boy. Stupid freaking questions. Get back to the game. All right. Let's see. Here we go. 3rd and 4th. Shotgun formation for the Bills. Getting some pressure. Moving him out of pocket. He trips. He falls. And the Giants slammed on him. I'm not sure if they're going to count that technically as a sack, but that was Jordan Riley, who's the guy who touched him because Elio was already on the ground. All right. So that should set up a punt. So at least we got a better outcome by the defense here. Giants up by 2. They're getting the ball back. Punt is going to be fielded about the 10-yard line. Montreal Washington gets it to about the 18. So interesting, Washington's doing that. There's actually a story this week about that he was saying that he's never, in his couple of years he's been in the NFL, with mostly on the Chiefs practice squad, he's never been a punt returner or kickoff returner in the NFL, but he did do it some in college. So interested in using that. It just shows me the Giants want to find a way to get him on the roster. And that's they want every single possible way to get him on the roster. I think they're pretty happy with what he's done. And good for him. Again, he's been in the practice squad for a couple of years with the Chiefs. He went to every voluntary workout for the Giants, so I give him a lot of credit there. 1st and 10 for the Giants now. Obviously, they're going to have DeVito still there under center. Handing off to Turbo, who gets straight to the line of scrimmage. Again, he has not looked good as a running back, guys. I got to give him. I've given his kudos on the passing plays. He's been explosive on the passing plays. He has not looked good as a running back. So 2nd and 10, guys. Let's see here. And again, they're just not even talking about anybody in the Giants in this telecast. It's annoying as all hell. Shotgun formation. I see Gunnar Olszewski out there. I see also Jordan Bly out there at the bottom of the screen too as well. And that's who gets the catch there, Jordan Bly. So a couple yards there. We got 3rd down coming. Jordan Bly, of course, is the son of Dre Bly, the longtime corner in the NFL. So those are a little more seasoned NFL fans. Remember his dad was a really good player too. He's played for the Niners, the Broncos, the Lions, the Rams. All right, Olszewski in motion there on 3rd and 2. And what the hell was that? Threw the ball to Olszewski, who caught the ball falling down at the 1-yard line. DeVito, like a moron, is pointing first down. Unless he was trying to get Dable to go for it, which he should at 4th and 1, just go for it. What the hell? 4 minutes left in the game. I would have gone for it personally, but whatever. It's a preseason game. Who cares? Situational drill. That's what it becomes at that point. Jamie Gillen going out there. They are going to measure it real quick there, but I can't think there's any way in hell it's going to work. They're just trying to show the virtual measurement. They don't do tapes anymore. They actually have the little radar sensor there that knows where the ball is. So let's see. It's a longer delay than it would have been just to pull down the chains. This is nowhere close. I think they're just doing this to show off the new technology. Make sure there's no glitches, so to speak, here. It's not even close. It's like 3/4 of a yard away. It's like, okay, finally, so they get on the telecast. We're talking about how this new thing they're doing with the spotting is still the refs putting the ball down and then having the new sensors that all tell where the ball is compared to the chains, instead of having to pull the whole chains out. They're right. There should be a technology to put the sensors in the balls nowadays to know where the ball is. Know you're spotting it correctly. But that'd be a lot more money. Imagine how many they pay in balls. Then at that point, they had the sensors in there. Yeah, they're mocking him, saying the oldest decrepit chain cane would be done. They're right. This has been a long delay for this new technology. It's going to help the NFL. So This has been a long delay, guys. Long delays. Now they're showing the virtual measurement, where it's not even close. We knew that already. 1 foot, 1 inch short. I guess that part's kind of cool. But again, they're not wrong with this at the telecast, which is very rare for me to give any kudos to the telecast because they've been pretty horrible here. But it took so long to do that. It's ridiculous. Dable is going for it now. There we go. There we go. Go for it, DeVito. Show some balls. Not literally, of course. Keep your pants on. 4th and 1, guys. They said 1 foot, 1 inch, they said. Should be able to just lean forward. Get that. It should be so easy. And how bad is this? 4th and 1, and they're cutting to the Texas Vikings game and doing a dual screen. That's absolutely ridiculous. There we go. Back to the game. Nope, they were just trying to draw them off sides. They're going to go back for the punt, it looks like. Why would you not just go for it? You got 1 foot. Just go for it. Insanity. Oh my gosh. I don't understand that part of it. Just go for the 1 foot goddamn play. 1 foot. I mean, you're up by 2 points. The defense has not been playing good. If we had gotten that first down, you could have potentially killed the clock. Instead, nope. All right, they're punting off now. Good bounce for the Giants. Don't touch it. Let it go. Don't touch it. Rolling down to about the 21-yard line. Good punt by Jamie Gillen there. All righty. Now they're showing more ex-Bills things. It better have the Giants telecast next week. Absolutely insane. All right. So 3 minutes and 20 seconds left with that. So plenty of time for the Bills to do something still. So we'll have to see what they can do. Hopefully nothing. So much delays. It's not even fun in this game. I swear it's like they're giving them extra time to talk about the new stadium and Bills history. Okay, let's see. There is an injury on the Giants. That's D. Williams, the guy we talked about, the corner / returner, the guy who showed up early for every single practice. So definitely showed a lot of heart by doing that part there. So I want to root for a kid like that, but not going to think. I don't think we're going to see him on this team long term. That's for sure. So, again, 3 minutes 20 seconds left. The big story right now is, can the Giants hold on to this lead at that point there? Defense not look good the second half. Coverage issues, tackling issues. To be honest, tackling issues especially been all damn game. So we'll see what happens there. But you know, they're going to have to get some yardage there. They're going to be starting about the 21-yard line, so you figure they're going to have to get, you know, a decent amount of yards to get into NFL coverage there. Different quarterback though for the Bills here. That's always fun. So their quarterback is Shane Buechele, looks like is the name here. So SMU, 4th season. Yeah. So I guess they're DeVito. He did get 7 yards on his first pass here. I was looking him up. So 2nd and 3. 2nd and 3 here. Going to pass deep. And again, wide open. We cannot cover for crap in this game here, guys. That's TJ Moore, the rookie out of Mercer, who again, the only time we talked about him so far has been giving up passes. This has not been a good day for the secondary, guys. Oh, bad snap. Giants are going for it still. Who got it? Did Timon Fox get it? I thought Trace Ford actually was 46. Trace Ford, and Giants got it. Trace Ford. Here we go. That's the rookie at Oklahoma, who also started his career at Oklahoma State. Undrafted rookie free agent. Guy who was a lot of good physicality to him, just hasn't really put it together on the field yet, even in college, really. Didn't do too much. But physical phenom. But yep, there he is. Gets that bad snap. So the Giants can get the ball in great position. They should easily win this game now. 2 minutes, 27 seconds left. I'm not showing where the Giants had the ball. But yeah, that's 3 timeouts still for the Bills. You can cause the Bills to burn all the timeouts, maybe. So you're probably gonna still have to do a couple real plays here, but let's see here. They're showing both games as they're cutting away to the NFL Network. So the Texans and the Vikings are also still there, but let's see what we can do. Fedoni gets the ball, gonna get it maybe half a yard, and that's it. But so second down, he did go out of bounds as well, which does stop the clock. That's one thing I don't like in this scenario. Should have forced the Bills to use a timeout. That'd have been the smart move. Be nice if they gave me the sound for the Giants and Bills instead of the Texans and Vikings right now. Like literally, you got a game that just started, and you got one that's about to score that might put away the game, and you're gonna put the one that just started sound wise. NFL Network, disappointing. DeVito back to throw again to Fedoni. Showed good hands in this game here. Gets a couple yards. Hasn't got a lot of yards, but he's caught everything. He's got like Velcro hands in this game. That was a little bounced around and then just reeled it anyway. So 3rd and 5, guys. And like no time taken off the clock at all. It's 2 minutes and 14 seconds in this. The Bills did take a timeout, at least in this. Well, I was saying the first time they should have gone out of bounds, forced the Bills to go ahead and use a timeout. So all right. 3rd and 5, guys. Gotta get if we get this first down here, then you force another timeout, one more play, last timeout. Then you're down to 2 minutes, and now you can really take the time off this clock. This is how important that play is if you want to actually win the game. Again, it's a preseason game. Oh, there we go. Wide open for the touchdown. Ward, wide open for the touchdown. So that's about the kind of coverage that you're expect out of the Giants, the way they've been covering everybody here. Jay says, what's your take from today, Drew? Listen, well, you'll hear about that in the post game afterwards here, but the big takeaway is going to be obviously the good play of Jaxson Dart is probably the story. To be very honest, that's probably the story of the game. But there's a few players we'll talk about that did pretty good there. But yeah, touchdown there. So 33-25 now for the score. Going for the extra point right now, and that is good. So Giants 34, Buffalo Bills 25. That should go ahead and shore up this whole game here. So we'll see. What the hell? They literally took away the game entirely, guys. That's insanity. How are you going to do that? Let's see. I'm going to go to Giants.com. Obviously, they're probably on a game break right now. And that's probably why they did that, but I still want to watch. Okay. Giants.com's not doing it. Let's see here. I'm going to try the Giants app as well here. I just want to make sure we don't miss anything for you guys. Like I said, it's got to be the commercial. They didn't specify that, but it's got to be the commercial. I can't imagine they'd get away from a live game. Plus that I'm seeing McCarthy now. It's been a very nice catch by Jordan Addison, by the way. Looking at their app because they said it's going to be on there. And again, I think that's what's happening is they know that I'm not living in the New York area, so they're not going to give it to me. I'm obviously in the Tampa Bay area for those who aren't aware. But yeah, good game overall, though, guys. Good game. My biggest gripe is going to be the defense in the second half, especially in the lack of coverage ability. But that we'll have to work about later on. Again, it's mostly backups. Defense looked decent, against a good Bills team. Dart played well. Wilson was accurate, effective. So, nothing I can complain about pretty much at all. 2 minutes and 11 seconds, though, still on the clock there. So who knows? Maybe some kind of big play happens. That becomes the play of the game there. But with the Giants being up by 9 points and 2 minutes left, I can't imagine there's any chance we lose this preseason game. Again, nothing that matters. It's a preseason game. We just want people not to get embarrassed and no one to get hurt. So, but yeah, like I said, guys, we will start our post-game coverage as soon as this is over here. Like I said, we're going to give me a minute to go grab another drink here because my drink is empty, and I'll go ahead and start that afterwards. Again, that will be on a separate video because of the fact that that's going to be used later on for the podcast as well. So keep an eye out for that. If you're on YouTube, it should automatically give you the link as soon as this video is over to take you to that video there. If you're on another platform, just got to go to our homepage and it should pop up there. Like I said, give me a minute because I'm going to take a slight break in between these two videos here. But it'll be like literally just a minute or two. So don't go far. But nice game overall, guys. It's very rare that I watch a Giants game and I'm not disappointed by a lot of things. I'm not disappointed right now. Again, it's a preseason game too. As part of it, I don't care as much. For some reason, again, they're not showing it. Let me see if I can get onto that. Let me know, guys, in the comments if they're going back to it or if it's just the NFL Network sucks and that's what's going on. Nice thing is, again, I got NFL Plus. So, yeah, it's still in commercial break. Okay. I got the telecast here specifically for the Bills and Giants game here. So let's see. See if we can get this back on here. It's insanity. You got to move around because the NFL Network is just weird things. Now, as weird as there's commercials, but they're also okay. There we go. Make it sound like you're at a game. Okay. All right, there we are. So game back on. They're down to the 2-minute warning, so we did miss a little bit here because it is 2nd and 2 for some reason. Even the coverage that I switched over to that's supposed to be the coverage of the game on the NFL Plus, we missed a pass. So we're at the 2-minute warning there. So craziness. The NFL itself is just messing this stuff up. All right, 2nd and 2. Go. Another receiver wide open. Jay says your YouTube is like an old Bruce Lee movie. Your mouth is saying something that happened 15 seconds earlier. It's okay. It's a delay. It is what it is. Another pass. Again, wide open. There's a flag down, but the Giants can't cover shit today. Flags to be on the Giants are saying legal use of hands. Defense 31. That, of course, is Nick Jones, the corner. At least you're going to get a penalty. Stop the damn pass. Insult to injury. I mean, hell, if we get a give up a quick touchdown here to the Bills could try an onside kick. We get an onside kick in preseason. All right. Another catch. Another pass, another catch. That was Nick Jones there in on that again. Also, Trace Ford. And another receiver wide open again. Bad tackling. Going to get down to about the 6-7 yard line. Yeah, this defense. Whew, not good, guys. This Frank Gore Jr. with the impressive run on his part. I guess impressive. I'm going to give it to the defense is the problem, though. They've been the problem. Giants actually have people cover for once. They're going to throw into the back of the end zone. Flags. Flags are coming. Fumble flags. Sheldon Cooper. Let's see. Roughing the passer. Defense, Trace Ford. That's the kid who got the fumble. So, automatic first down, guys. 54 seconds left in the game. Let's see it. He's starting to stop. This is where I hate this stuff in this game sometimes. Like they're just killing all the fun out of attacking quarterbacks. It's the right call. I'm not knocking the refs on it. I'm knocking the rule. They make this game soft every year. All right. Getting another spammer. Another spammer gone here. All right. So first and goal here about the 3 yard line. You know that they get this, though. The Giants have to stop crap from this Buffalo Bills team. And a really bad pass. So credit on the defense is not coming for me on that one there because that's just a bad pass. Second and goal. 50 seconds left on the clock, guys. Like I said, either way, the Giants got this one. Just a matter of what they end up with the final score. You really care about this if you're gambling on the game. Let's see here. Second and goal. Play fake. I said they're going to run with that little bit of time left. Wide. Nobody there. Another bad pass. A decent quarterback would have got the touchdown back-to-back plays. Point blank. All the time with the world he had too, guys, by the way. Again, all these guys that were these are the future UFL players, basically. So, you know, it is what it is. They're saying the receiver, I wish if they actually had the play catchable, he would have got the touchdown. Time about the injury. They're just saying that it's a Giant. They're not even telling you who. Telecast a goddamn joke. Tell us the number. Tell us the name. Give us something on who actually got hurt. Again, it's going to be a scrub because it's 44 seconds left of the fourth quarter of a preseason game. But, you know, it's their job to tell us what the hell is going on. It's my job to tell you guys, so I want to tell you. Ridiculous. So, all right, let's see here. There we go. It's Williams. So he's been hurt a couple of times. So D Williams again. He was the last guy that got hurt as well. So been a couple times. Yeah, they're showing Javarius White just giving people water again. All right. 44 seconds, guys. Third down and goal. He got it, but it's like a yard left. It'd be 4th and 1. So 4th and 1, 39 seconds left. Says it's at least a good situational drill for the defense here. So coverage actually wasn't too horrible on that by Nick Jones, because that was a really good catch to even get that. So I'm not going to blame the defense in that one. Good throw, good catch. Not bad coverage. So again, 39 seconds left though. 4th and goal. They are going for it as you expect. What else are you doing? All right, let's see. 39 seconds. And they're going to go for a pass. And of course, he's wide open. They're going to give him the touchdown, even though he dropped the ball in the end zone. As Frank Gore Jr. gets the touchdown. Horrible pass. That's not on Frank Gore. That's a horrible pass. This quarterback is crap. But this Giants defense just does not know how to cover. Nobody's there. And then Deontay Johnson running towards him at the last second. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he did drop the ball with the contact. So, yeah. So that is a touchdown. I'll give him that. All right. Wow. They're reviewing it. They are reviewing. It's hard to see his knees. Hard to see where Frank Gore's knees were. The ball did it pop out, and it came out late, but it's also did it pop out after the contact was already made, or I don't. We're gonna find out. I'm wondering if his knees are down. They got an angle that we're not seeing here. Again, there's so much we can see on this end. Let's see. They're showing it right now. Let's see. I'm looking at his knee specifically. His knee might have been down before he crossed. It's hard to tell. Deontay Johnson's body's in the way. Let's see. There it is. Knee is down. He didn't get it. He didn't get it after all. Again, that's all in the bad play of Buechele, the quarterback, because I know he had somebody's face and all, but that was a horrendous throw with a guy that was wide open. So yeah, I think they're going to call that touchdown back. We're going to find out. Nothing like a little more delay in a preseason game, huh? Oh my gosh. This has been like crazy, long this game has been. It's been 3.5 hours, and we're still going into this here. Again, I will have the live show here afterwards for the post game. I actually got to change the scheduling on that there, because this game is taking so long that it's going into when I thought we'd be going for the live show here for the post game. I thought that'd be 4:15 is when we had that, so I have to go into there and change that. So let's change that so that we were on the right time here. Change that to 4:35, and hopefully that's enough. Okay. All righty, guys. So again, we got 34 seconds. They are still talking about Bill's stuff here. Actually, kind of an interesting anecdote there. Devin Singletary was, hold on. So short of the goal line, no touchdown. Giants to get the ball at the dead ball spot, which is going to be basically right at the goal line. So they can't just kneel because they can't go 2 yards back, obviously. So yeah, stays at 34-25. Oh, but yeah, the end of they were given that Frank Gore was actually in his last years mentoring Devin Singletary in Buffalo, and now Frank Gore Jr. in Buffalo. So that's pretty cool. Dev says WTF local broadcast in Connecticut cut out before the end of the game. It went to racing from Saratoga. Ooh, it's like the Heidi Bowl. Now it's literally like on the line, basically the ball. So If they kneel in the end zone, you're taking the safety. I think they're going to do. Nope, they're going to do a tush push for DeVito. Let the clock run. The Bills will take the timeout. 33 seconds left. So do one more tush push basically, and that's it. So delaying the inevitable at this point. So I feel like at this point they shouldn't even do stuff like this because, like, God forbid someone gets hurt. The game's over. It's ended. It's a preseason game. You don't care. I guess it's like practicing for the coaches, practicing running over to. Even Dable's like looking like, what the hell? 2nd and 10. 29 seconds left. No more timeouts. That's it, guys. That's the end of the game. So the Giants win 34-25, guys. Again, we will have a post-game show, have a 2-3 minute break here in between. Let me refill my drink here, and then we'll do postseason action with you guys. Again, that'll be in a separate video. Those on YouTube, you'll be automatically redirected to that because it'll give you the link at the end of this. Those otherwise, just go to our homepage of whatever platform you're on. You'll see it there, guys. We'll see you in a minute there for the post-game show. Again, appreciate you guys for watching with us. And, of course, go.
Thanks for listening to Two Giant Goofballs, a New York Giants podcast. We appreciate your support.
Thanks so much.
Please, I'm begging you. Please subscribe.